horsemenonly.com studios.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Good morning.
Coogan Nation. Time to rise and shine and start your day with Duval Sports Media Big Steppers. Dan Hicken.
You know it!
Jeff Proctor.
It's a big deal.
Gosh, it sure is a big deal.
And E to the T.
E.T. is in the booth. Rise and shine. Googans, go time. On the 3rd of July. It's a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. Thanks for being up and at 'em with us. Going to get you through this day and onto that nice long weekend. So first and foremost here, be careful on the roads. Be careful on the water. Be careful in America's newest warscape. It's the American cul-de-sac. Be careful in the cul-de-sac. Let's keep our digits attached and make it through this weekend safe and sound. Man, you got to stay off that liquor, boys. You got to know when to dial that thing down. Is there ever... Good morning, Dylan. Denmark is in with us this morning. Has there ever been a fireworks accident that didn't involve a preteen child or somebody who's been drinking too much?
I was just about to say, the only firework accident I've seen was from a firework got knocked over and it blew up right in front of like a 7-8-year-old.
Nice job. I think we all have that mishap. I have this one. This is years ago. We're at my in-laws. They live like kind of out in the country a little bit. At the time, it was in the country. Now it's a little enclave within all the developments. But anywho, so we're there one. We're there one year. They still laugh about this at get-togethers. My wife reminds me probably every 4th of July. So anyway, we're down there, and these are, like I said, it's out like a, almost like on a farm. It's a big get-together. When we get together down there, it was a big one. So 4th of July, there's, dozens of people, right? And you're doing all the same stuff. And so we're standing out just standing out in the backyard, the driveway area, or whatever it is. There's like me and my wife and my in-laws, and then a couple of friends of theirs that live across the street. And somehow I had a bunch, and I got my kids are like 5 or 4, I don't know what they are, running around, and I got like a brick of firecrackers that I'm intending to not do anything with at the moment. I don't know, somehow or another, they lit, and immediately I just got to drop them. Well, like this lady's from across the street, she's got her back turned or sideways, and this thing just goes off like a bomb right at her feet. I thought she was going to kill me. I thought she was about to unveil some Northeast St. Johns County justice on me, boy. She spun her. She thought I did it on purpose, right? Like I'm being,
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, Charlie giggles over here. No, I didn't do it on purpose. I retreated, man. I went to retreat mode. So there's my drop a firework bomb on an unsuspecting. Both were accidents. See?
No warning whatsoever.
Yeah.
Not like golf where you yell for it. It's like, oh, yeah, because you got to run.
Oh, man. And, now that you mention it, we've all been to the cul-de-sac war before, right? We've all been to some 4th of July party at a cul-de-sac here. And I can remember one time, to your point, one of the bottle rockets got like knocked over as they ran away, and it like shot right at the house.
Ooh.
Like a mortar.
Hopefully not a window.
Yeah, incoming mortar. No. Been to a lot of them. Where are you on the fireworks shows, Dylan? What are you, late 20s, 27, 28?
27.
Yeah, where are you at on fireworks? Is that like a priority for you? Will you go somewhere tomorrow night and make sure you see fireworks? Or
nah, probably not. I've seen enough.
Yeah, that's because, see, now imagine, fast forward your life about 30 years. Let me know where you stand on going and seeing a fireworks display.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, gosh, you've seen one, you've seen 100 at this point, but it's always about that next and then next generation, right? Little kids will look up at that sky with those fireworks and be like, holy shamoly, what's going on here? So, anywho, we'll back up Terry at some point this morning. It's the all-time PSA. I should have added a third category, those that are, physically incapable of avoiding a potential catastrophe. And, yes, and if you've listened to the drill for 10 minutes, back up Terry. He's coming. There's no denying or debating that. I got a full menu for you. Yeah, we'll get you nice and full before you barbecue those burgers tomorrow. Captain Kevin Favor, normally a Friday guest, but with all of us off for the long weekend, he'll join us here in the 6 o'clock hour. That's coming up next segment, in fact. So we'll see what's happening out on the waterways and get some, tips. It's amazing to me living here all these years that I have, how all of us we get to holidays and we all act like we're on vacation from Michigan. I mean, we all have the beach and the water and the boats. They're all in our backyard 365 days a year. Yet here we are, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day. We all go out to the beach like we're on spring break. And which is fine. Guilty as charged. Found myself at the beach. Guess what? On Memorial Day. It's like all you wives and kids. It's like you don't realize there's boats and beaches the rest of the year. But let's go out and one day we'll get no parking. We'll have to walk about 8 miles.
And where everybody is.
Everybody.
At the beach, especially Jack's Beach.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't walk around.
I feel you. And then when it comes, if you've been here long enough, you've probably done the boat thing on the 4th of July. I mean, holy hockey sticks. That can be like Russian roulette out there once the sun goes down, man. So just be aware. The boaters are kind of empowered now too, Dylan, because one of these recent bills that were passed, they what's the word I'm looking for? They pulled back on just stopping boats for no reason or entering boats without reason. So they're putting on us boaters as, for the accountability of keeping it safe out there. So that's it for the PSAs, other than backup Terry. He's coming. All right. So I got Captain Kev coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. Pat Dooley for kind of a State of the Union Gator report. Listen, Florida's June in recruiting has become a real big story. In fact, there's more breaking news here again this morning. Let's see. Just got to make sure the way they come fast and furious. I want to make sure this was posted 13 hours ago, so I'm assuming this has happened in the last 24. But a Fort Myers 4-star, Kendall Guerville.
Yeah, it happened yesterday.
Yeah, so one of their top overall targets in 2026. It's another win on the recruiting trail for Billy Napier in Florida. Texas was the team trending to get his commitment. Now, look, we still have this period of time between commitment day and signing day. Definitely things can change, but you just go with where things stand now. And Florida was sitting in the 60s in the recruiting rankings as recently as early May. And here we are 2 months later and now trending toward the top 10. Billy Napier, I guess by all accounts, again, I'm not a recruitnik. Keep up with the headlines. I can't. It's hard to keep up. There's all these different services. This guy, it's a 4-star. Over here's a 3. Over there, he's a 5. Guerville, though, has built up a relationship with Florida. Says he's visited 10 to 12 times. Let's see. He's commitment number 15. I read a column. It was just it was comparing what the 3 state schools have done on in-state recruiting. Now, Miami's overall recruiting ranking, I believe, is still higher than Florida's, and FSU has gotten up into the top 20 themselves. But by at least the column that I was reading, all 3 analysts thought Florida had won the state. When it came to the prospects in-state that you were targeting and getting commitments from. And boy, we all know that. If you're Florida State, or Miami, and you're not killing it here in the most fertile recruiting ground in the country, maybe Texas, then, you're chasing your tail. So they got 15 verbals now, got a bunch of 4s, and again, in some services, these cats are 5s. Overall, this latest is number 134 overall. And this comes, they needed kind of a bounce back because Trenton Henderson is a 4.5-star, 4-star, some 5 others, who it looked like was bound for Florida, and LSU stepped in with a sack of cash, apparently. He committed to LSU yesterday. So, anywho, going to bring in Pat Dooley, the czar of Southern college sports. By the way, Feinbaum, I got to play Feinbaum for y'all this hour. Feinbaum yesterday is on some round table. Buddy, I hope Cam Newton wasn't listening. I know he's heard by now. Dylan, you got to right now be monitoring Cam Newton's response because that's going to be coming.
Well, and the thing is, he's on ESPN First Take all the time.
I know he is.
Which is where Feinbaum said this quote that we're going to play.
I know, man. Listen, it's good stuff. Trust me, it'll be worth the wait. All right, the story nationally is Clayton Kershaw. I had 3,000 career strikeouts. Doesn't juice me. I don't feel that chase like you would for 3,000 hits or 500 homers. I guess 600 now would be the better marker. but it is still a really amazing accomplishment. I think it's only 20 guys with 3,000 strikeouts. Is that right?
Yep.
I don't often give myself a pop quiz, but file this away, Dylan. I'm not going to go down the list, but you pop quiz me and the audience along with it, just who those 20 are with 3,000 career. I'll let you put an over-under on what you think your boy in here is going to get.
Ooh, for you
out of 20.
Out of the 20, I think you'd get at least 14.
Okay. That's a fair number. I'm going to use my many moons of baseball experience, and I'm going to set the line at 16 and a half. 16 and a half. But I won't look until we get there. Maybe we'll do that when we come back on the other side, but we will talk to Captain Kevin Favor first. I got a football fix coming up this hour. Pat Dooley again with a kind of State of the Union from Gatorland. That's coming up this morning about 7:25. Doc Murphy joins us for his normal Thursday spot. More terrible injury news for the Braves, man. It's just crazy. What are these jokers doing, dude? Sale now to the 60, so maybe it wasn't just a fractured rib. And Spencer Schwellenbach apparently has a fractured elbow. He's now shut down, I would imagine, for the rest of the year. Ooh, it just gets worse and worse for Team No Heart. They need a transplant, buddy, and it's not coming. I don't know how you can do anything but punt the trade deadline. There's no reason to trade any kind of asset of it. Maybe, listen, the Braves are too good a franchise to go sell mode and blah-de-blah. No, you keep fighting, boys. Get the 500. I don't care what the marker is. Don't trade Ozuna just to trade him. Let's try and win some ball games. Got a whole summer. Mr. Sucker born every minute here is going to be at a game next weekend. Yeah. I wouldn't have done it, Dylan. I promised to not give my money to those bastages. But one of my boys is working up in Atlanta for a couple of weeks, and he's going to be up there. So I'm going to take the ride with the Wampus, the little man. And I go up next. I think the Yankees are in town. God, don't make me pay extra to watch these losers.
Oh, you're going to pay extra for that ticket.
Dang, I got to pay extra to watch the losers. Maybe I'll go up Saturday, and I will go down to the ballpark area, and I won't go to the game. And then I'll go see how they do Saturday. I'll go Sunday afternoon, maybe. You know what I have a hard time doing? Depending on where I'm sitting at a Major League game, I have a harder time following the ball in a day game. Does that happen to anybody else out there? Especially if I've got like a good seat, like I'm like third or first base line in the lower. I have a hard time following that ball in the daytime versus the night. First world problems. All right. So, yeah, Kershaw gets to 3,000. He does it last night. He's one of a few who have done 3,000 with a single team. That doesn't mean you played your whole career with a single team. But, by the way, so I'm going to have a little bit of a cheat code. I saw those 3 or 4 names this morning who had already done it. But I also knew all 3 or 4 had gotten to 3,000 strikeouts, so I would have gotten them anyway. Kershaw's joins, though. That's a really exclusive club. Only 20. I should probably have respected the stat more, I guess is the point I'll come back to ultimately. Dodgers beat the White Sox last night. Clayton Kershaw picks up his 3,000th strikeout along the way. If there's ever been a surefire, no doubt, first ballot Hall of Famer that's playing right now, is Kershaw the best? It'll be Ohtani, I guess. He's got the best legacy of active players. Of all the players in Major League Baseball right now active, who will be looked upon as the most dominant, the best player of this grouping? Could it be Kershaw? When you really soak in what the dude has done? How many career wins, man, you just don't get to as much. How many career wins does Clayton Kershaw have? He doesn't have 300, right? He's really hit. By the way, I saw him track like his first 1,000 came in 5 years, and then in 3 or 4 years, and his next 1,000 came in 3 or 4 years, and this last 1,000 has taken like 7 or 8 years.
216 regular season wins, that's 94 losses.
That hurts in your overall standing, especially comparing yourself to other pitchers. Today's pitcher just doesn't go the distance that the old timers did. They don't answer the bell as many times over the course of a year as the old timers did, and so ultimately they don't get to an even more impressive number to me than 3,000 strikeouts, and that's 300 wins. Let's come back with Captain Kev and more. It's a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. Going to count you down until the holiday weekend. Thanks for being up and at 'em with us. You 6 o'clockers, hopefully. See, what we did here with Pockets is we've gotten him in early, but on the other side, we're going to get him out of here early. Are you off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all 3?
Yes, Lord.
Oh, man. Back up, Dylan. Back with more next.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
It's called freedom.
So let the banner be unfurled. It's Independence Day.
Have a star-spangled fourth
Only in America.
from 1010XL.
Well, now you can't get any more American than that, can you?
Want to bet on sports but no clue where to start? Millions of players are already making moves on Hard Rock Bet. Your friends might be winning. Why not you? Bet with confidence. Bets by real players help guide your picks. Go with the crowd and cash in on the wins. Any pick that catches your eye. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. New players bet $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Man, jack of all trades, masters of none? It just feels like at every turn nowadays, every company can do all work. Not us. Hi, Stevie Beatrice here, second generation plumber right here in Jacksonville, Florida. We are your master plumbing company that only focuses on all your plumbing needs. So for your next plumbing job, don't call another Jack. Call Beatrice Plumbing, where plumbing is what we do and plumbing is what we're great at. Beatrice Plumbing, here to help.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who was having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Sports fans, this is David Garrard here. And if you're suffering from orthopedic soreness, make an appointment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where everyone is treated like a pro.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Registration is now open for the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. With over $450,000 in cash and prizes, fun starts on July 13th with the inaugural Kickoff Beach Tournament that has a $50,000 cash first place prize. There's also a junior offshore tournament and one for the lady anglers. Best of all, the winner of the General Offshore Tournament takes home a Contender 28T with twin Yamaha 200s. Register today at kingfishtournament.com.
Soft takes are boring. That's why I dropped the hammer on the Frangie Show. I'm Hayes Carlion. Listen for Hammer Time with Hayes, weekday afternoons on 1010XL.
Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic.
The SEC and the ACC will face off in Jacksonville at the 81st Tax Slayer Gator Bowl game, December 27th at 7:30 p.m. Join us for Saturday Night Football in prime time at the bank. Preferred locations and pricing available now at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. As temperatures warm up around us, ants come out in droves. And when they move into your home or business, it's unnerving. Terminix knows that ants add up fast, but Terminix subtracts them faster because living with ants isn't any fun. When ants show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with an ant problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, Captain Kevin Favors Fishing Report. Brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. You dream it, we build it. On 1010XL. Now, the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
I'm gonna take you fishing.
Oh, it feels like it's a fishing forecast show.
It does.
Right?
It does. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. Thursday, don't you normally are on Thursday nights? Right? Or I ask you this every week. Thursday night's the fishing forecast show? Wednesday night. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
now, for my own
Thursday night, 6 to 7.
It was Wednesday at one point, no?
Long time ago.
Oh, well, there you go. Long time ago to me feels like 10 minutes.
I know. So let me ask you this.
Yes.
How long have we all been on 1010XL?
Like and you were we probably did the fishing forecast from the report from the beginning, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we went on the air in like 2007. So yeah, it's just 18 years.
That's only 18 years. Yeah.
Only 18 years worth of fishing of telling people where to go get them. It hadn't changed that much. That's the beautiful thing about. It definitely. There's been some changes gradually over time. I mean, what are some of the biggest changes of the 18 years? It feels to me like only because I was the uninitiated. It feels like the tarpon fishery is more popular now than it was 18 years ago.
Oh, okay. So
is that right?
100%.
Okay.
I mean, because whenever I started really, because I cut my teeth tarpon fishing. That's how and I say that I did a lot of inshore trips. I had a flats boat, but I did a lot of tarpon fishing, and then I started because tarpon fishing was chum fishing. You remember we used to go to those trip boats and get chum, and I started tarpon fishing on bait pods with the trolling motor, which nobody did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like nobody. I had the place to myself for years and years and years. But I had the forecast show and the outdoor show, and I'm my own worst enemy. I promoted it, and it has become that is probably number one. But the other thing that we did that no one did, Jeff, is waiting on the grass flats for redfish and sheepshead.
That's fun.
No, it's and trust me, no one figured it out because you have to figure out the flood tides.
Is that still done? Is that still common?
Oh my God! You can't even go to a flooded flat anymore.
Can't you do that right there behind the gate station? Or no, you can't do it there.
No, there's no flats there. I mean, if I had to tell you some place to go,
you'd have to get back into it with a boat and then get out. And
no.
Okay.
Where we used to go was 206.
Okay.
Just all of those grass flats. You could literally pull off the side of the road right there and kind of go through the bushes, and there's some beautiful grass flats out.
I told you I did the freshwater. We waded in the St. John's down there, like Bass Haven.
Yep.
The amazing thing about that St. John's River, like standing at a boat ramp, is how you would never imagine that you could walk out 100 yards and it'd still only be chest deep.
Yeah, exactly.
But so you can wade all through those docks, and where you can flip a lure or throw is so different. But the first half of the trip, we were there. Now those grass lines have since been blown out by the hurricanes. They're not there anymore.
Right.
But we fished the grass line, catch huge bass, and then we would just kind of go underneath the docks and we'd throw little beetle spins, Kev, and on lightweight, and you wouldn't. The brim was so big you didn't know if he had a brim or a bass.
Right, I know.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's fun.
Well, absolutely. I hate to say it, but probably the other biggest change is the weather.
In what way?
Well, we have different weather patterns now. I mean, I literally used to do 30 trips in April on the beach, and I would run my flats boat. The ocean would be absolutely dead calm. In the last 10 years, if you get 4 days total in April offshore, you're lucky. And this April was no different. It's the wind blows every day, and I mean it just blows and blows and blows. May and June have been very consistent. May and June are kind of our old April. We didn't catch very many fish on the beach, tarpon fishing and kingfishing in May. Now it's a norm. We've been doing this report obviously all year, and I've told you May and June may have been the best 2 months that I've seen ever. But so that stuff changed. And the other big time change, Jeff, is the Sharks. There's no question that, and just really in the last 10 years, they've changed their pattern like drastically. To the point to where there's a lot of places that we can't go fish
because he'll vulture you.
Yeah, because you'll every fish you hook's going to get eaten by a shark.
It used to be the barracuda you'd worry about. I can remember so many king fishing. Yeah,
it used to be. And by the way, the kudas have been horrible this week, and we'll talk about that. And the reason is because that the water temperature has dropped
again
drastically.
Again.
Yeah. Listen to this. I literally canceled today.
What?
Fishing yesterday on the beach. Water temperature was 69 degrees.
What?
Isn't that nuts?
That's amazing. Is that the lowest? Is that a record for that date?
It's pretty damn close. The coldest I've ever seen it, and this was probably 8 years ago or so. The coldest I've ever seen it in July was 66.
Okay, so yeah.
And this was 69, and you can forget it.
Wow.
I mean, you can, it's so funny. You look up at the beach and there's nobody swimming.
It is cold. We went to the beach a couple weeks ago when it was like in the low to mid 70s, and that was cool. I mean, 60s.
Yeah.
What is the coldest that the water gets in the winter? Do you know?
50s.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, we got like winter water temps.
Yeah, it is. No. This is January and February water temperature.
I'll give you another major change since the day you came on, and this is so new that it hadn't caught your mind yet, but it's huge, and that's that fast trolling and finding wahoo, like you said.
Oh, that's 100%.
That was never a strategy.
No, that's totally since we've been doing this.
Yeah, that's even in the last 5 years. It feels like.
It does feel like that. Yeah, I mean, you think about when since Paul Dozier started the Wahoo Shootout, most everybody high speeded, and now most everybody live baits. So you're right. That's totally new.
Yeah,
for sure. But here's the good news. I think this whole thing is getting ready to change. I mean, we've. We always go through this. Every summer we have a thermocline, upwelling, whatever you want to call it. This one's as bad as it gets. And the ocean has just been, the last 3 days has just been snotty. We've had a really tough south wind, and it hasn't helped us. It's getting ready to totally change. They're calling for this wind to go east, not today. But starting tomorrow, 4th of July, it looks like it's going. They're calling for northeast at 10 to 15 tomorrow. What a great day for the 4th of July! I mean, that is amazing. And then it's supposed to blow east on Saturday and Sunday, which will totally turn this thermocline over. So I hope starting next week that we get back to some normal fishing.
What now? So you said it's 69. Is that what you said? 68? What did you say it was? The
69.
69. How high does it go from here, like in the summer, just to give people an example? Like what will
84,
the water... Yes.
84.
So we're going to have a 15-degree change here, and probably in the next couple of weeks, no? I mean, will it get back to 84 quick like?
It'll be back to 84, or it'll be back in the 80s next week.
Yeah. Well,
literally, all it takes is one flow of wind, and now that doesn't mean that the fish are going to show up overnight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's going to take them a couple days to figure it out, because here's the funny thing. This week went to just out of curiosity went to some of my premier snapper spots. You've been to them. I've taken you to these places. Okay. They're gone. There's none.
Huh.
None.
Because of water temp or some other reason?
They adiosed offshore. Yep.
They'll be back.
They'll be back. They'll be back. And obviously we got snapper season next Friday and Saturday, which I will not be participating in.
This is 2 weekends in a row where the waterways are treacherous. That 4th of July, I've been on a boat on 4th of July enough to know that I don't want to be on a boat on 4th of July again. There's just too many other variables. It's
I'm obviously totally with you.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to enjoy my day with family tomorrow,
Nice.
and
So are we.
and do all those things.
Now,
Yes.
now though, I'm kind of I like that water temperature. If I'm going to go like cook on the beach, I'd rather it be 69 and 79
yeah.
personally. But
It's going to be magnificent and northeast at 10 to 15.
I told Dylan earlier the problem I have, Kevin, is somehow all of us that live here, 365, boy, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day come, we all act like we're on, spring break from Wisconsin or something. Like everyone, we could go any day. Why are we going to go when the parking's the worst, the crowd's the most?
No.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
We're all guilty. I went Memorial Day this year like a fool.
I'm guilty tomorrow. I got a friend of mine who has a place on Porpoise Point.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, we're going to have friends. And
Sounds fun to me.
sounds fun to me. And then I was talking to Kerry last night. I'm like, first off, I've got to work on Saturday morning, right? I got the outdoor show. I mean, if I go over the Volano Bridge and I've got to come back over the Volano Bridge at, I don't know, after the fireworks are done, it may take me 2 or 3 hours to get back.
Yeah, might need to splurge on some of that captain's salary and just get you a little room at that Best West, whatever it is that's right there on the point. Yeah, just grab one of those bad boys.
Yeah.
Here's what I need you to do this for me. I need you to go super old school, and I can live vicariously through you. But if you're going out on Porpoise Point, then just take one of those surf rigs, just throw it out there, see what happens.
Oh, I promise you.
Yeah.
I guarantee
good.
you.
Will other people be fishing?
There's no dock. And by the way, he's got lights.
Okay.
My buddy Morgan, he's got lights on his dock.
Oh.
And it is spectacular fishing. I mean,
yeah.
You just look down there and look at the trout and the red.
I'm fishing tomorrow. I'm going back to the belly of the beast where the phone went into the water and we got broken off 4 times.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're going.
That's cool.
Tomorrow morning early. So hopefully.
Okay. All right. You have to let me know what you catch because I'll be curious.
Okay.
Since you're going with the right equipment this time.
Yes, correct. We're going to get all ready to go, and apparently the shrimp are running already over there. So bait is all over the place. So.
Yep. All right. Well, just to reiterate to folks, I mean, it's going to be, another couple days, and then this temperature, everything should get back to normal next week for fishing wise.
All right. Yep. Well, sounds good. Outdoor show still a go on the Saturday.
Well, I'll be there tomorrow. It'll be, or say tomorrow on Saturday. It'll be Loggeman, myself, and Captain Kirk. Should be fun.
All right, good. Well, happy 4th to you and your fam. Sounds like you got a good day coming up tomorrow. All right, thanks, Kev. Appreciate you, my man.
Buddy.
There he goes, Captain Kevin Favor, the best advice that you could get, and you get it right here for free, man. I got other stuff I want to get to and around, but we got 4 hours to sprinkle it in, and your boy's already breezed past the broadcast clock restriction. So I've been told in my ear by upper management, it's time to go to commercial break. But when we come back on the other side, I got a football fix, some news and notes from the National Football League. Still ahead, we'll have the 10-minute drill, top of the hour, 7 o'clock. We've got Pat Dooley from the formerly of the Gainesville Sun, now of his own podcast, and Pat can get us squared away on that. But I'm just kind of looking for a Gator State of the Union, as SEC Media Days are coming up here in a couple of weeks, and expectations are high in Gainesville for the football season. To that end, Phil Steele's Top 25 was officially released yesterday. I'll drop some of those in when we return. I still got Paul Feinbaum on Cam Newton. In fact, it might be a good idea to play that for Pat, Dylan. I bet you he'd get a kick out of that.
An opinion or two.
Having covered both of those guys and knowing Feinbaum, himself. Maybe we'll play it for him again. I feel like I've teased the hell out of this. I think people need to hear what Paul Feinbaum said about. I think people need to hear what Paul Feinbaum said about Cam Newton. I'm going to let you hear what he said when we come back. Then maybe I'll let Dooley weigh in as well. But we got plenty to talk about with Dools. We got the quarterback whisperer. He's going to switch from Friday to Thursday. So Denny Thompson joins the party coming up in the 8 o'clock hour as well. So up and Adam with us. It's a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. You are locked into the drill.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The PGA Tour this week, TPC Deere Run for the John Deere Classic. Ben Griffin 16-1. Jason Day, Danny McCarthy, both 25-1. Luke Clanton 28-1. Davis Thompson and JT Poston are both 30-1. Shane Van Gisbergen plus 185 to win the Grant Park 165 on the streets of downtown Chicago on Sunday. Kyle Larson plus 650. Christopher Bell plus 750. Braves at $1.44 home favorite against the Angels today at Truist Park, while the Rays are laying $2.27 at home against the Athletics, 900 Steinbrenner Field. Score $500 in rewards at the G-Bank First Bet VSiN Trifecta. Details at vsin.com/GBank. With your action update, Mike Sennett, 1010XL.
Got a clogged drain that just won't quit? It's time to bring in the pros. Duck Duck Rooter.
I called Duck Duck Rooter for a clogged kitchen drain. They showed up fast and had it cleared in no time. No mess, no stress.
We've seen it all. Grease clogs, hairballs, mystery goo from the deep. Whatever's blocking your pipes, we'll get it flowing again. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule your drain cleaning service. That's 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hi, folks. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Clayton, I know you're the head diamond buyer at Underwoods, and you travel to the markets to buy diamonds. Why don't you just look at an emailed list and have them send you the diamond?
Frank, there are a couple of reasons we go straight to the source when we're selecting the diamonds we want to put the Underwood name on. First, as an expert diamond buyer, I have to see a diamond before I can really judge its beauty versus the price it's being offered at. Second, when we're at the source, we have huge selections to choose our diamonds from, so we don't have to compromise the Underwood quality standard. The result is we control what goes into our diamond stock instead of allowing a diamond dealer to send us what he wants us to have. The bottom line is we're able to offer our customers carefully selected, beautiful diamonds that we're proud to have carry the Underwood name.
Underwoods, serving excellence since 1928 in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Don't miss the Bari Breakdown with Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays around 3:20 for the latest in sports injuries. From all the big names in the game, who's MIA, who's coming back from injury. Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime, Wednesdays at 3:20.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Dan Hicken with a game changer. I've tested the field, and Checkmate Coatings is my new go-to for durable, jaw-dropping floor coatings. Better play, better results.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all: garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Slam dunk your floors at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
What does the logo on the Pittsburgh Steelers helmet signify? The answer next.
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The logo on the Steelers helmet represents the steel industry. It's the only NFL team with the logo on just one side.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
If life blindsided you tomorrow, was your family struggle? I'm Cody with Harborstone Financial, and I can help. One call could protect your family for life. 904-885-9566. Harborstone Financial.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah, if you want to have a little fun, just monitor Cam Newton's social media because a response, I'm assuming, will be forthcoming. I'm going to drop that in on you here in just a second. Also got a football fix teed up. News and notes from around the National Football League. Phil Steele's top 25 is out. I'm going to dive into this a little bit deeper. I think there's some cool college football conversations to be had. Every single thing I look at just continues to point at Florida, Miami as the same team, which means that early season game is a deal breaker for one of them. Like Florida and Miami are right next to each other in everything. They're within a couple of each other. If somebody thinks Miami's 7, they think Florida's 9. If somebody thinks Miami's 14, they think Florida's 12. They're within a couple of everywhere. And so, again, I almost wish that they were the first big game for each other rather than each of them having a losable game before. Miami's got to play Notre Dame in the opener, and Florida goes to LSU before they head down south. So we'll see if that holds true here in the Phil Steele rankings as well. He's got Penn State at number 1. I have a hard time buying Penn State as a national champion because they never are.
Well, and James Franklin is not... Anytime he is playing against a good team, you don't think he's going to outcoach the other team.
Well, it's just, and again, that's probably not fair. That's probably not the, standard to be using. They got a really good team, man. They got a top flight quarterback. They've got 2 great runners. They have 2 top 5 running backs. They've got the best pass rusher, maybe in the Big Ten. Favorites to win the Big Ten, maybe the Natty. So Penn State, we shall see. He's got them one. Again, I'm going to go through this a little bit more, but let's just hit some of those, local interest notations. Georgia 6. Again, I'll go through some of the other teams, the more complete top 25 later. We've got Miami at 14. Florida at 17. So, again, there's a ranking that has them within a couple of each other. Continuing outside of the 25, 26 to 60. Now looking for Ole Miss. I mean, I'm reading Ole Miss 26. That's right. Now looking for Florida State. And they've got FSU, or he has FSU at 31, which I got to be honest, isn't terrible coming off of, what were they, 2-10?
2-10.
Coming off of 2-10, 31 is pretty generous. It's all going to be about the quarterback play, man. They got inconsistent quarterback play. Period. End of story. Not good enough at all. And Castellanos from this seat looks like it's just another one of those guys that they try and play and plug and it hadn't worked. I mean, should you feel better about Castellanos than you felt about DJ throw it away last year at this time? Didn't DJ Ungiagalele, didn't he come with a little bit more resume than Castellanos?
Oh, for sure. Especially what he did at Oregon State.
Yeah, so
won 8 games.
It's gonna be, man, what an important player in the state of Florida college football scene. That's Thomas Castellanos and what difference he can make. And we'll talk to the Whisperer about the FSU quarterback situation. It's the one thing Florida and Miami have is DJ Lagway and Carson Beck. And that's why they're up in the top 15 in most polls. And that's why Miami is viewed as a playoff contender out of the ACC. And that same position is why FSU is not. All right, speaking of quarterbacks, what was the general topic of conversation here on this first take conversation?
This was Arch Manning is the best quarterback since, and Feinbaum believes Arch Manning is going to be a really good quarterback. So, it was a panel of, 5-6 people, of course, because first take.
Sure.
And, they're like, someone says Tebow, and someone said, I think it was Tua maybe, and this person said Cam Newton. And so Paul Feinbaum reacted to each answer, and then he brought this stuff about Cam Newton. I heard this initially on TikTok, and I raised my eyebrows. I went, huh? And here's what he had to say.
I was actually quite aware of why he left the University of Florida. You might call Urban Meyer. He'll be happy to tell you that Cam Newton, because he told me, is the worst guy he has ever dealt with in his college career. Now, That's saying a great deal considering some of the 30 for 30s have been done on a few of his other players. But I just wanted to make that point.
What? That's top rope, man.
The worst?
That he's ever, again, have you heard of Aaron Hernandez? Does the name ring a bell? Because for all of Cam's pomp and circumstance and laptop thefts and controversial statements and feathered boas, last I checked, he ain't put a man in the 6 feet under. So, I mean, settle down, Paul Feinbaum. I mean, for Pete's sake, man. Good gracious.
I mean, that Gator team had a third, was it 43 guys get arrested?
Yeah, yeah. I think that, I don't know what the number was.
It was 40 something.
I don't want you listen. You can pick and choose every college football program and get this guy for that and that for the other. Georgia right now is living that. They're the only program in the world. Y'all may not know this. They're the only program in the world whose kids drive fast. So the attention is on them now. It often goes on the teams that are winning, that are dominant at the time, and Urban's teams fit that. But Urban was a mercenary, man. It's a strange pairing, he and Tim Tebow. And by all accounts, it's a genuine sort of friendship. I won't ask Tim specifically about that. That can be his business. But that's an odd pairing, man. At least it seems to be. And, buddy, that Urban Meyer, you want to talk about, that dude's Teflon, isn't he? He's right back on Fox, making millions a year. He's
doing a podcast.
I see him posted on social all over the place, usually pulling a clip from him. He's looked at as it's like Jacksonville never happened. It's like the road trip to Cincinnati was like a Twilight Zone memory. We have a head coach grabbing ass in a bar after a game while his team flies home. Are you kidding me? I'm not putting it in the cuss bucket for the A word. Is that a cuss word?
No.
Okay, good. I can't ask these young guys. They'd have me tell me the F-bomb isn't a cuss word. Got to be careful. Fire up the band. We got a football fix. The football fix is brought to you. I don't think, by the way, that Cam Newton is the worst guy that ever, went through the corridors down there. I think that's kind of, and by kind, I mean completely ridiculous. Obviously, Feinbaum don't like Cam Newton. I'll just leave it at that. All right. I read this on, it was a Bill Barnwell column. Did you read this, Dylan?
I did not see this.
Okay. This is interesting to me. As soon as I read it, I didn't need to see a picture. I knew that we, the Jacksonville Jaguars, had a first ballot gold jacket, separate wing, like Dion would say, when it came to this Hall of Fame. You ready? Introducing the Bag Hall of Fame. 8 NFL stars who got paid, who worked the system the most to their advantage. Jalen got to be on there, doesn't he?
Got to be.
I mean, he has got to be. That man.
He got traded and got $1.5 million raise.
That's right. Every time he forces his way out, he makes even more. I remember Revis kept getting paid.
Yup.
Who are some more that might be on this list? Didn't Jimmy Garoppolo get paid twice?
He got paid in San Fran. I don't think he got paid again.
All right, here we go. Here it is, the Bag Hall of Fame. If Jalen's not on here, then we got to sell another T-shirt. This list sucks. The Drill T-shirt line, full of our hit phrases. All right, what is going on here? All right, All right, let's see. From Bill Barnwell, it's time to bestow a new honor on a handful of NFL legends. While many of these players do great work on the field, I'm happy to finally give them the credit they really deserve for what they've done in fighting some of the most penurious people on the planet, NFL team owners. It's time to induct the inaugural class of players into the BHOF, the Bag Hall of Fame. Then he adds, I'm going to make it clear, this isn't an attempt to honor players who were overpaid or didn't deserve the money they made during their time. I reject that concept in principle. Just about every player, past or present, was or is underpaid relative to the risks they take. There's no fun in poking at backup quarterbacks who are able to collect checks while rarely stepping on the field. Instead, I want to reward players who did the best job of maximizing their leverage and getting paid for their ability. The problem with Jalen ultimately landing here is I don't consider faking an injury, being completely disrespectful to your coaches and owners and front office, and then faking an injury to get out of town. I don't consider that
using leverage.
I don't consider that leverage.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put him. That's not leverage at all. That's a terrible, terrible, terrible teammate. That's what that is. An awful narcissist, the most selfish narcissist in a league of narcissists to ever suit up for the Jaguars. Reprehensible as a teammate. Quite frankly, if you'd had all the ins and outs that many of us have had, you would add personally, but I won't. I'm not Paul Feinbaum. Here they are. You want the 8? Oh, this is a good one. Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins got that bag.
Franchise tagged twice, and then got paid again in Atlanta.
Dak Prescott.
Yep.
He's gotten the big deal twice, had he? Didn't he get like the 2 and then the 4? He's gotten 2 over, on Jerry Jones. Yeah, he's got the franchise tag a couple times. My man's got a lot of cash. Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, he just used his leverage.
He's gotten a bunch through the years, man. Let's see. I wish they would just give me the total deal at the end. He's not completely adding it up. But, yeah, through the franchise tags, the trade, the max deals, the Stafford is basically a trillionaire. Joe Flacco turned 1 playoff run into 2 contracts with the Baltimore Ravens. Apparently made more money than I would have guessed. I would not have put Flacco on that list.
First $100 million quarterback.
Darrelle Revis, we called that one.
Yep.
The best cover corner and market setter of his generation. Not sure any player was able to concentrate more significant contracts in a shorter period of time than Revis. He was finished as a pro before turning 32 after spending the first 3 years of his career on a rookie deal, managed to sign 4 significant deals in a 6-year span, including 3 multi-year packs and a 1-year contract for what amounted to a franchise tag. Come on, where's our guy? There he is. Jalen Ramsey, calling card, backing up the truck. While Ramsey hasn't been quite as aggressive in Revis in terms of pushing for new contracts, there's a certain style and panache, is that what we're calling it, to his negotiations that need to be rewarded. It's one thing to hold out, and another, as Terrell Owens famously showed, to do sit-ups in your driveway for the media after emerging as an upper echelon cornerback during his first 3 seasons. We all remember him arriving to camp in the Brinks truck. Remember that one? Jags had a, blah, blah, blah. You can't blame the team here at all. So Ramsey pushed the envelope when he did not get the proverbial or the contract extension in the time frame that he wanted. He revealed the Jags didn't intend to offer him an extension, which is not true. A surprising move, given how aggressively teams usually lock up their young superstars. Showed up to training camp in an armored truck. Came with a hype man. Finished by announcing it's time to get his money. Can you imagine being in Tom Coughlin's office and seeing that video?
The thoughts that went in his head when we saw that first.
He said that move didn't work. Ramsey's next play did. Again, putting this as a play is okay business is weak to me. I'm losing some respect for Bill Barnwell. This is not knowing the room. And listen, and I get it. There are many of you out there. You just don't know what happened with Jalen Ramsey. You've got it all wrong. Y'all, to the point of who you think chastised him post-game. You've got that wrong. I'm not going to reset it again. We've told you what it is. Some things, Dylan, people don't want to believe when you tell them. You can tell, and again, not opinion. Like, many of us know factually what happened on that afternoon in Houston, and after that, not much of it had anything at all to do, by the way, with Tom Coughlin. So this is just weak sauce, 100%. So here's the quote, next play, 2 weeks into the year. Requested a trade, played one more game, began his time with a nagging back. He left out the part where he threw a hissy fit because his coach wouldn't call a challenge flag on the first possession, put hands on his coach, was reamed in the locker room by his GM, not his VP, and ultimately was treated exactly as he should for the insubordination and chaos that you caused in what's supposed to be a team game. It's Football Fix. You're welcome. Brought to you by the Jacksonville Sharks. Off this week, but back home next week. JackSharks.com for your tickets right now. And by the Jointon Creek Golf Club. Tee it high and let it fly. I'll see you on the course, the home course, the Jointon Creek Golf Club. Turn to hour number 2 here on a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. Coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, we visit with Pat Dooley down in Gainesville. Get a State of the Union there in Gator Nation. Doc Murphy in the 7 o'clock hour as well. Back with more next.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
All right, everybody up. Come on, hands in. Yeah. Come on, everybody. Let's go out and kick some butt. Here we go. On 3.
92.5 FM.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
The playoff-bound Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp are in full swing at the newly renovated VyStar Ballpark. Your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game, and kids round the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
I'm Stacy, and I want to tell you about my fogged up window fiasco at my house. I called up Mac at Baker Glass. He told me all I needed was a glass replacement. The process was so easy. All within a few days, they came out, measured, called me with an estimate, cut my glass, and came out to install the new ones. Now my view outside is fog-free thanks to Mac and his crew at Baker Glass. And my neighbors think I got some fancy new windows.
I'm Mac with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Triumph has been a legend on-road. They've branched out to their off-road division as well. Give us the latest on what you can find on the asphalt.
They've got some great new products. They've got the Scrambler 400s you can get into for a little less than you might think. It's a great price point bike, but still a Triumph.
So affordability is also part of the equation.
It is, and it looks good, and it rides good.
CyclesofJacksonville.com, or check them out on their Facebook page. The showroom ready and waiting for you on Atlantic near Regency at Cycles of Jacksonville.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to
saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Lone Pronto. Jaguar Executive VP Tony Pacelli is feeling the momentum. He says veteran players are buying into the new culture shift in Duval, and that's exactly what this team needs to turn the corner.
I look at our players, guys who've been here, it hadn't gone well. It's been very easy for them to say, like, here we go again. But the majority of players buying in.
On the recruiting trail, the Florida Gators landed 4-star defensive tackle Kendall Gervil, their second D-line commit of the class. Now, the win comes just as 5-star edge rusher Trenton Henderson chose LSU over Florida. And on the diamond, Tampa Bay launched 3 home runs to edge the Athletics 6-5, avoiding a sweep. Meanwhile, the Twins snapped the Marlins' 8-game win streak, taking a 2-1 victory Wednesday night. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
At 7:04, it's 75 degrees. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler, Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Good morning.
Good morning. Coogan Nation. Time to rise and shine and start your day with Duval Sports Media Big Steppers. Dan Hicken. You know it! Jeff Prosser.
It's a big deal.
Gosh, it sure is a big deal.
And E to the T.
E.T. is in the booth.
All right, here we go. It's the 3rd of July, or as we say in the South, July. Maybe the counter says Thursday, but Dylan, it don't feel like a Thursday to me. We have a certain standard, and this isn't necessarily my favorite ditty, but the boys put in one request before they went off backseating it for their little holiday weekend. I don't think they're together, but somebody show me proof. It feels like a Friday, Dylan.
It's Friday. It do feel like Friday.
I mean, it feels like a Friday.
Yesterday was Thursday. Today's Friday.
It just feels like a Friday. We're going to have a nice, long weekend. So, you know what to do, gang. In your car right now, if you feel like doing it. Hey! Ho! I'm not going to do this whole, we're not going to run it out. I'm not going to scream one more time. We're not going to do any of this. I'm just going to remind you a not so friendly reminder of what you got to be careful of this weekend, Dylan.
Hold the hand, Chico. Hey, hold on. Hold. 2 cars come. You got 2 cars coming 2 different ways. Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, Jesus. Oh, jeez! What you doing, Terry? Terry, what's
Never gets old. Poor Terry. Man, they've done mashups and mixes. Put it to music. You know what's kind of a nice sidebar for me here? Everybody knows Holmes, my pop's Holmes, Homer. But his name is Homer Terry Prosser. He's always called by Terry. So I enjoy anytime he gets a little too close to me. Back up, Terry. I get to do that. That's just a small gift in life. We got some speed traps out there, man. Take the little bit of that flash and pop out of your 4th of July. So let me give you what I got coming in here. This drill speed trap alert brought to you by Catlin Truck Accessories. They've got radar detection and more over there with our friends downtown 2nd and Main. All right, 95 south, just past Pecan Park, so north of town there. We've got Chips out there. Here we go again. JTB eastbound near 95. More than one out there this morning, and typically that's how it works. It'll be a concerted effort. So listen, hopefully you're just going fishing or golfing right now and you made it into a 4-day weekend, but if you are in your drive time, keep those speeds down. Let's keep safe out there. And there's a little drill speed trap alert. As I said, I got Pat Dooley coming up next segment, so The month of June has been favorable for the University of Florida, so we'll talk Gator sports with him. Doc Murphy, terrible news for the Braves again on the injury front. It's been one thing after another. We've got Doc in studio with us coming up later this hour, so we'll get you caught up on the injury report. And quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson, coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. So we are locked and loaded and ready to carry you through a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday with Julie and Doc still to come this hour. Why don't we go ahead and cue up today's 10-minute drill?
And now, let's light up the Firehouse Subs 10-minute drill.
Dylan will play the role of host. Hit it. Yeah. I want to rock right now. Let's take you through the landscape. Certainly Clayton Kershaw, Dylan, is going to make the 10-minute drill with what he did last night.
For sure. Yeah, he got his 3,000th career strikeout last night. So, you were talking earlier about, the most popular players right now, Ohtani and Kershaw's one of it. It's weird because you think of the best pitchers, usually it's, and you think of their career. It's Verlander, it's Max Scherzer, because of what they did in the postseason.
Right.
And Kershaw, he didn't have a couple of, good postseasons, at least a start. And then, that goes away when you win it all.
Well, he's the fourth lefty with 3,000 Ks. You know what? I'm not afraid to drop in a little pop quiz right here. When it comes to national news, the All-Star game is in the news. The Braves injury I'm talking about, Spencer Schwellenbach apparently has a fractured elbow. So, if you can throw over, say, 68 miles an hour, drive up to Atlanta. They may let you take the bump tonight. So the Braves' lost season is just even further lost. And they announced the All-Star starters yesterday, and the game is in Atlanta. And the Braves have picked the 1 year. They've got really one all-star level player. There have been years where the Braves have had 6-7 guys on the team recently. But Ronald Acuna Jr. was voted in a starter, even though he missed a large portion of the beginning of the year. He's been terrific. He's the only Brave with any heart, even though Matt Olson hit a grand slam last night. So,
yeah,
just dropping that in. All right, yeah. Ready on the pop quiz?
Ooh. Let me see if I can find this. I was trying to find it.
I saw it up there earlier when we were searching for Captain Kev. Here's what happens, gang. Everybody, we get to the holiday weekend and the boys are off on vacation. And and you leave me, the technically illiterate, with Dylan to the morning show and just to find any and everything we need. And then Dylan's got, like me, who fly by the seat of your pants guy. Who, would I tell him in our pre-show meeting today, pre-6 o'clock? No. Do I tell him even in the break? Perhaps not. Not tell him while the segment's going on. Sure, you got it. So Clayton Kershaw, this surprised me. Last night became the 20th pitcher to reach 3,000 career strikeouts. And then Dylan and I were kicking around, what were the over-under? How many of the 3,000 career strikeout guys can I get? Dylan said a fair line, an impressive line of 14. There you go. I went, personally, I'm going to bet on myself. I'm going to go 16 and a half. You got the list in front of
you? Yes.
Okay. These are 3,000 career strikeouts. Is that correct?
Yeah, 3,000.
Yeah. All right. Walter Johnson.
That is one.
Is he second?
I just had the list.
Yeah, you're going to need the list.
We are all kind of.
I'm checking them off. Just take your time. Tell me when the list is up. Let me give a few more of the, a few more news and notes that I've got here.
All right, I got the list here. You said.
I said Walter
Johnson's third.
Third all time. Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, he's number one.
Number one is who is two? Is it Randy Johnson?
That is correct.
He's two. So that's 1, 2, 3. All right, let me give some more that I think. You know what? You're right. 14 is probably better because there's a lot of guys. I know John Smoltz had 3,000.
Where did he go? Scrolling.
Definitely had 3,000. He had 3,000 with the Braves alone. No? Game over.
Yeah, he got 20.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's number 20.
He's at number 20 on this list.
Bob Gibson had 3,000 career strikeouts.
He did.
I'm going to go with some guys. I'm assuming Cy Young had 3,000 strikeouts. No. What about? No, I'm not going with that one yet.
Okay.
How about Pedro?
He did.
How about Steve Carlton?
He did.
How about Tom Seaver?
Yes, he did.
Okay. How many have I gotten? Do you know?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. That's it, huh? Oof. Eek. Yikes. Verlander.
Yes.
Scherzer.
Correct. Verlander.
Scherzer's got to be.
Yes, he is on there as well.
Does Kershaw? Have I counted Kershaw yet? Does that put me up one more?
Yes, he's on also on that list.
I've already. But do I get more? Is that put me up to a 10 or 11 or
1,
no?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, we're at 11. We're looking for 3,000 strikeout guys. Now, some guys aren't necessarily like strikeout pitchers, but they pitch so long and they're so good. Like, I gotta say, Greg Maddux got to 3,000 strikeouts. I know he's not a strikeout pitcher. This could do it.
He did.
Okay. Where's he on the list? Oh, I got one. Clemens.
Roger Clemens is also up
Yeah,
there.
that's an easy one. It's 12. Let's go with short career here. Oh, now it's gonna get tough, boy. I got all kinds of guys that are out there. I'm flying blind here just a little bit. Yada yada yada. Let's move this game along and let's just give me some hits as we go down and I'll knock them out real quick. I would have gotten the 14. I don't know about the 16 and a half.
The bloody sock.
Kurt Schilling.
Yep, Kurt Schilling's one.
Okay. Did Glavine get to 3,000?
No.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say him. I was just curious.
And you got Bob Gibson.
Yep, I said Gibson.
Okay, my bad.
Okay.
Phil Necro.
Oh, Necro. Braves fan. Come on now. I knew that. He may have 4,000.
One of the more recent pitchers, CC Sabathia.
I wouldn't have gotten him. How about this? I'll just be honest and tell you what I wouldn't have gotten if we had an endless, music loop to play this game.
Walter Johnson.
We said him.
Okay. Fergie Jenkins.
I would not have gotten Ferguson Jenkins. That's a good one.
I don't know how to say this guy's last name. Bert
Blyleven.
Yep, that's him.
Given a long time to sit around with some boys, I would have gotten him, but I'm going to say right here on the spot, I would have forgotten Blyleven.
And the last two I think you didn't get were Gaylord Perry and Don Sutton.
You know what? 15 would have been a get over under. You know what happens going through that list? Some guys we maybe didn't appreciate quite enough.
Yep.
I think that's fair. Burt Blyleven, Don Sutton did Don Sutton may have 300 wins. Don Sutton probably hugely underrated.
Is Kershaw the greatest Dodger pitcher? Because everybody's going to think of Sandy Koufax. But if you look at the totality of his career for Kershaw, 3,000 strikeouts. And the postseason is what everybody's going to go to with Koufax because he had a .95 ERA and Kershaw's 4.49 in the postseason. But Kershaw pitched 39 postseason games while Koufax had appeared in just 8. Kershaw has appeared in 13 postseason starts and that lasted past the 6th inning while Koufax only had 5.
I will say this when it comes to the bulk numbers, the playoff system has changed so much. From when Koufax was there, buddy, you played the season, you played one series, then you went to the World Series. Whereas now you got a wild card, then you got a divisional round, then you got the championship series round, and then so you literally have the opportunity to make another 4 or 5 starts before you even get to the level where Koufax and that crew went. How many wins does Koufax have? I would give the nod to Kershaw because he played longer. Was Koufax on he wasn't on the 3,000 list, was he?
No.
That's another one that I tell you, another strikeout pitcher, but he must have burned hotter, and I probably remember him more favorably because he was a baseball announcer when I was a kid. But Don Drysdale, you know that name?
Negative.
Wow. Yeah, Don Drysdale was a big name. Drysdale, does he have a Cy Young? Maybe I think he was either played with Koufax or right at him.
Sandy
after.
Koufax, 165 wins.
Yeah, but instant Hall of Famer. Koufax, he had the shutout streak, didn't he? Initially, I think that was ultimately who chased that down. Oral Hershiser, maybe.
Yeah, 3 World Series, 2 Cy Youngs, 2 NL MVPs.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah. Somebody said, would it have been far-fetched to guess Goose Gossage? Only because he was a reliever. Yeah, these guys that get to 3,000 strikeouts, you got to be a starting pitcher. A good strikeout starting pitcher is going to have multiple, 10 to 15 strikeout games over the course of a year. And a reliever, at his best, is only going to face 3 guys, 4 times a week, perhaps. Anything else from the sports world grab you there? I saw the Team USA Soccer won. They're off to the Gold Cup final. So, listen, we already bemoaned the degree of difficulty in beating these little island nations, but whatever. I guess a win's a win, and so I think it's USA and Mexico again. I will say this Gold Cup, attention placed here only because the USA is hosting the World Cup. So soccer, your antenna's up a little bit more, and so last year, or the last Gold Cup, they lost to Panama. right? Didn't even make the semis. And so to get back to the final here and see how they do. So I did see that. What else you got?
And then you got the NBA yesterday, DeAndre Ayton. Former top pick.
Good move for the Lakers.
Yeah, he's going to be for the Lakers for the next 2 years. The Knicks hired a coach, and potentially there's going to be a 7-team trade involved with Kevin Durant. And your Hawks are involved.
Another what?
Yeah, you didn't see this? Just like this came out last night.
Okay, you don't have to. I just want you to slowly tell me everything involved. I won't ask you to repeat. I'm just listening for some buzzwords.
All right.
7 teams. That's baloney. Nobody. You can't get 7 people to agree on anything.
The Athletics' Fred Katz reported Wednesday night that the Houston Rockets' Kevin Durant deal with the Phoenix Suns could expand into a 7-team bonanza. The 5 other teams reported with the Hawks, Nets, Warriors, Lakers, and the Timberwolves.
All right, who gets what? Did they say that?
It does not say.
Oh, shut up. Who are you? What Athletic? Who is it from the Athletic?
Fred Katz.
Yeah, hey, buddy Katz. If you're going to write a story about a 7-team blockbuster when the real blockbuster already happened, Phoenix sending Durant to Houston, you're going to have to do better than just throwing 5 teams out there and not giving me a single player.
Yeah, it's not expected to include unexpected players, but rather combine some trades that are already agreed upon in an effort to most efficiently align the money movement.
Well, what we're doing is we're taking all of these deals that these teams have already made this offseason and somehow trying to game the system a little bit, right? And push money to places where it's more friendly for all those involved. That's what I would say. I would say this about the NBA, too, as that first free agent frenzy is over, and now you are going to start hearing about deals. There are 2 upper-level A-list superstars who the rumors and smoke about them potentially going to new teams is lingering. And those 2 players are Giannis Antetokounmpo and LeBron James. To the point Bronny, I saw, was asked about speculation about his dad. He took a no comment on that one.
He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, and Giannis, there's just something going on in Milwaukee. And it's looking more and more like the package that the Hawks could put together is the closest thing to fair for a player of Giannis's, talent level. The problem with Giannis is you feel like he's been in the league 5-6 years. I mean, the guy came in the league in like 2012, didn't he? 2013? I mean, how old is Giannis? Early 30s, 31, 32? I mean, if you're trading for Giannis or Durant, you better be win it now. And could the Hawks with Trae Young and Kristaps Porzingis and Giannis win it all? I don't know, but I know this. The Hawks will not win it all if they don't have Giannis. I'm not saying they will if they do, but any other way that they play out this year, I can guarantee you will not end in a Hawks title. That's for sure. All right, but Ayton to the Lakers, that might make a difference for LeBron and his confidence level and what this year's team can do out there in LA. The big story in NBA, and we talked about it yesterday, is how the East seems completely up for grabs. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll check in with the czar of Southern College sports, Pat Dooley, formerly of the Gainesville Sun, and now all things Gators down there with the podcast. So we'll talk to Pat and more when we return. You got some razzle-dazzle in there for the Googans?
I got some 9 o'clock nasties. That's what you're talking about.
We usually have a little prize pack sometimes.
Oh, we do. Yes,
we do. Okay,
we got a pair of tickets to Jackson Rock Orchestra featuring Fleetwood Mac at the Florida Theater, July 11th.
All right, come kind, come courteous, and wish Dylan a good day. You can take home those tickets. We'll be back up and Adam with more. It is the 3rd of July, counting you down into the holiday weekend. Our Thursday program is always brought to you by Custom Tree Surgeons.
Downtime with Dan is serviced by the local family-owned company for home comfort and your statewide mechanical partner for the biggest projects, Lloyd's Heating and Air.
One thing's for sure about Liam Cohen. He is dedicated to the running game, the ground game, the running of the football. How will the Jaguars do this year? Well, they're going to do better, but will they do a lot better? Will they have a transformation like the Bucs did? That depends a lot on the offensive line, and it depends a lot on the running backs. Who will be the running backs? Will ETN succeed? Will Bigsby take over? What about the 2 rookies? Will it be LaQuinn Allen catching balls out of the backfield? And what about Tootin? Can he hold on to the football? All questions that'll be answered during training camp. I look for it to be a very competitive training camp, especially in that running back room as the Jags try to sort things out and figure who's going to make an impact with the ball in their hands on the ground this year.
the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Hey, Dan Hicken here. Nothing like freedom and independence on the 4th of July, the red, white, and bluest of holidays. Thank you all and have a happy and most importantly, safe 4th.
Celebrate your independence with Jacksonville Sports Radio, 1010XL.
Jeff Prosser here for Lloyd's Heating and Air. Need a leader for commercial, retail, multifamily, or hospitality projects? Or top-tier residential service? No gimmicks, no mascots, just real expertise and hard work. As your trusted statewide mechanical partner and local family-owned team, Lloyd's is the name Northeast Florida counts on. Visit Lloyd'sHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air, keeping you comfortable in every season.
When you're a little kid on the playground, they tell you don't hit back. Well, the courtroom isn't a playground. And if you've suffered an injury or death in your family, I'm here to tell you it's okay to hit back and fight to make them pay. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we understand all the pain and emotion that comes with being wrong. And we've dedicated our lives to making things right for people like you. So if you get hit back with Hastings Injury Law. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey, Jacksonville Hicken here. I've been around the block or two, and Checkmate Coatings is who I'd call for my own place. They're my new MVP for stunning, long-lasting floors.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coatings. No massive overhead means top prices on top-quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios, too.
Visit CheckmateCoatings.com today. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
At IHRS, we're passionate about solving your hair loss. We're clients too. With the latest hair transplant technology, FDA-approved laser hair therapy, and PRP, we guarantee solutions for both men and women. Call now for a free consultation and receive $250 off. Hair restoration is for me, and it can be for you too. Go to hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477.
To catch more fish, you gotta think like a fish. Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, reeled in by the Pest Pros at Royal Pest Services, and awaken 180 weight loss.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret: Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses, no dry crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a dandy today.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Meet John and Ben Lupo, first and second generation owners of Jacksonville's Beards Diamonds.
We can do things that these corporate stores cannot do. Make decisions on the spot. Our pricing is better than anybody else's. We do not do commissions.
We really try to keep it a family environment, relaxed. We're not trying to sell you what we want. We're trying to listen to what you want.
In fact, don't be surprised if you end up spending less at Beards than you had budgeted, because they're going to teach you how to buy a diamond like a dealer buys and show you how to buy smart.
If we can save the consumer money, we're all about that. If we can achieve the same look, the same quality, and for them to spend less, that's what Beards is built on.
Why pay more if you don't have to?
Dad always taught me from day one is you got to look at the diamond. You can't just buy off of paperwork. Rather than us just saying, hey, this one's $7,000, the other one's $10,000, we're going to tell the consumer why this one's $7,000 and why this is $3,000 less, but almost looks identical.
Don't overpay at the Wall Street-owned corporate chain. Get the transparency and value you deserve at Beards at the St. John Town Center.
Hey, Jacksonville, need a fence and ready to save? At Superior Fence and Rail, you'll lock in 5% off your fence project when you sign by the end of July. A limited time offer for savings and peace of mind this summer. Now accepting appointments for a free estimate. So act fast and get 5% off your entire fence project when you finalize by July 31st. Cannot be combined with other offers. New contracts only.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com. Chelsea here. Summer is sizzling and so are the savings at Renewal by Anderson. For a limited time, buy 4 windows in our patio doors and receive the 5th free. Plus enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. As temperatures rise, so do energy bills. Upgrade to Renewal by Anderson's exclusive Fibrix windows. 2 times stronger than vinyl, remarkably energy efficient, and custom crafted to perfectly fit. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation today. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
All right, we're back. Let's take it down to God's country. Been too long. Fire up the hotline and bring in Pat Dooley. Many moons ago, I dubbed him the czar of Southern college sports. It's just a fact. Patrick, good morning, friend. How we doing?
I'm doing great. How about you, buddy?
I've been good, man. Life been good? Treating you well? Everything good?
Yeah, been playing some golf.
Nice.
Just trying to be semi-retired, but
right.
I'm still doing the podcast, still doing radio every day, so I'm staying on it.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? And how that part emerged for those of us that before we age out, right? The podcasting and the radio and all that. It's been such a blessing and keeps us in touch and in tune. But no one can be more in touch and in tune than if you're sitting there in the backyard. And I'm going to start with this observation, Pat. I was thinking this about sports fandom. So much of sports fandom is spent just hoping you're wrong. Right? Like if you're a Jaguars fan, that's can sum up most of your existence. And I think Napier kind of fits that for a lot of Gator Nation. Those of us, I would include myself, that were so completely underwhelmed until really the last 5 games. I hope we're wrong that Billy Napier is not big enough for this overall job. Are we?
Well, that's I think the question. That it is kind of the put up or shut up year for Billy Napier, because if he can't get it done this year, when I say get it done, I mean at least be in the playoff hunt, going the last 2 games, and hopefully make the playoffs. But if you don't make it and you go 9-3 or 8-4, I don't I think that will show some progress, but it's still not a lot of progress. It's been a slow build, and now he's got all the guys he wants. He's got the team he wants. He's got the quarterback he wants. So there's no more excuses. So it's time for him to be a better head coach than he's been in the first 3 years, and a better play caller than he's been in the last 3 years.
Both fair comments. Where does your gut tell you that lands, Pat, or is that too dicey a prediction? I mean,
well, it's very difficult because of the schedule, and I was talking to somebody who used to play at Florida recently, and they were saying that the problem is that for Florida is they don't treat road games that much differently, and they kind of don't get fired up for them. And you look at their road record away from the swamp, they're 6-10 under Napier. And this year's schedule is heavily loaded with road games, because last year you were heavily loaded with home games. So this year you got to go to LSU, go to Miami, go to Ole Miss,
Texas A&M.
Go to Texas A&M. I mean, it's going to be brutal. And if they can't figure out that to me is going to be the whole key of the season. As big as the home games they have, Texas, Tennessee, FSU.
Miami. We left Miami out of the road trip, by the way.
Yeah. I know. If you can't win on the road, then this season's not going to go anywhere. And it's not ridiculous to think this team could be 2-4 to start the season. And if they are, where are they? As a presidentless school.
I've pointed this out. I can't get hit quite on board with me, but I think maybe we're not sleeping. It's just we've got roadblocks before that game. But this Miami-Florida game is going to be a season crusher for one of the two. It feels like for two teams that have playoff aspirations, if they don't win that game, they won't be playoff teams because the rest of the schedule then comes into play. Now, if Miami beats Notre Dame, perhaps they could survive a loss to Florida and do their job in the ACC and make it. But for Florida, that Miami game, if you can't win that game, Pat, with what you got in the conference, the playoffs, at least that part of the goal, would seem to be in serious jeopardy. What a big early season September game that almost makes us feel, Pat, like it's 80s, 90s Miami, Florida. Not quite, but almost.
Yeah, not quite, but it's almost there. You're right. But the biggest problem for Florida is they got to go to LSU the week before.
That's right.
And LSU everybody's really high on LSU. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to pick LSU to win the conference, although most will pick Texas, but some will pick LSU. They've really killed it in the portal. They got a quarterback who could be the first pick in the draft. I don't think he will be, but he could be, depending on how he plays this season. And they're at home, and it's a night game. So, you could easily be going down to Miami hoping not to go, 0-2 in the big games, and that would not be. I don't know that you would have a lot of confidence going into that game. So it's almost like you need to win the LSU game to make the Miami game less important. But if you don't win the LSU game, the Miami game becomes, like you said, it's just gigantic.
Are they deep enough, Pat? Are they deep enough at the second tackle spot, on the interior defensive line spots, at cornerback? Are they deep enough in those positions to be a true contender, to be a playoff contender?
Well, I think if they can keep everybody healthy, they are. I mean, last year that was part of the problem. You know that.
Yeah.
Obviously, the injuries they had, Trey Wilson being one of them, obviously at receiver. But, you lost Devin Moore for a while. You lost a bunch of different players, Jason Marshall, to injuries. And I think that the backups got some playing time. I think I think they've got enough guys, okay? It's a matter of whether they are put in the right places to make the right plays, which they were in the back end of last season. But the question would be, why weren't they in the front end of last season? And can you do that? See, that's another thing that I know they're starting off with the Long Island Sharks, baby. Let me tell you what, when the Sharks come to town, I know all the people in Jackson will be excited because they had a team named the Sharks.
It is the Jaws anniversary, too. Be careful.
I covered that team, believe it or not. That's how old
for you.
I am.
I hear you.
But anyway,
hey, tell me you don't want an XL Jacksonville Sharks distress T-shirt. I don't believe you. Sure you do.
Well, I'll take it right now.
I hear
you. I still have a Jacksonville Bulls jersey.
Nice.
They had a fire sale, and I still got that. So. But yeah, so I mean that's going to be the thing. You're going to get to start off a little bit easier way to open with LIU and South Florida, but Florida has not shown that they are good in the first quarter of the season. They just aren't, and they've got to be better. They've got to get where they're ready to go first game, even though it is Long Island. You better build up to that LSU game, and you better be ready to go there, and then you better be ready to go in Miami, and then you get to come home and play Texas.
Sure.
And a quarterback who's HBC's already slandered. So
yeah, right. Boy, everything, I could sum up everything you just said right now. Like the head coach, part of head coach Billy Napier is now the part that is left to answer for itself. Because to your point, to play, pieces are in place. The team is good enough. And if it were Steve Spurrier coaching them, they'd be 10-2. It's funny. Good schedules become hard schedules when you're not a great team. If you're rocking and rolling Florida and you look at that schedule, man, that's a good schedule. It's tough. That's a good one. But if you're not, it's words like difficult and impossible come into play. Give me a name, Pat. Give me a guy being down there all the time that's just not always in the headlines that you feel could maybe make an impact. I think maybe one that fits that, maybe the Sturdivant kid. I think we're all on Dallas Wilson and Eugene Wilson, and it seems like I've read good things about Sturdivant down there, his speed and some other factors. Are there other guys, young guys, ready to break out?
Yeah, there's a couple of guys, and obviously Miles Graham is a name you're going to hear a lot, and obviously, Ernest is coaching now up at Santa Fe High School, so he's living in town. He's been living here for a while, and see Ernest a lot. But Miles is ready to have a breakout season. I think L.J. McCray is another guy that as a freshman he didn't really do a whole lot, but he needs to be good as a sophomore. I mean, he needs to play really well, and if he can anchor that end over there, you have the tackles, right? And Banks and Sapp, if he can be that end over there that is able to put pressure on the quarterbacks, which is what you got to do. And that's what Florida was able to do in the back end of last year too, is they got the pass rush going, and which makes your secondary better.
For sure.
And so they ended up, they had 3 straight years of historically bad interception totals, like 3, 3, and 5 or something like that. And then last year, I think they got 10 or 11, 12. And that was a good improvement. They need to be better than that. They need to be getting a lot of turnovers. And if you're getting turnovers, turnovers make offense. And that's how you score 35, 40 points. You get a bunch of turnovers and you get short fields. And that's what they weren't doing for 3 years. And then the back end of, like I said, of last season, they started doing that. And of course, no more so than when they went to Tallahassee and they turned it over, 8 times? So.
I'll give you a turnover number you can throw in your stat pack, and you can use this, down the road somewhere if it hasn't registered with you. It does here because it's so local. You know how many turnovers the Jaguars forced last year, Pat? 9.
That's not good. That's
Imagine that. Wrap your head around that. They forced 9 turnovers in 17 games. There were 2 teams in the NFL that forced 9 in September. So, anyway, I thought it was such a good stat. I had to throw it
Not
out.
only that, but John Reese do 9 in one game.
Remember that? All right, I just have one last thing for you. It sounds like the discussions we're having, I'm not going to ask you to predict every game or a record. It sounds like 8-4 is the over-under. If he does better than expected, he'll win more than 8. And if he does worse than expected or worse than you'd hope, he'll have less than 8. That sounds like that's where Florida football is going to this year. And in fairness, that schedule does probably change those numbers a click or two. Does that sound about right? Is that where you are?
Well, I think 8-4 would be the break-even season, and that would say, okay, it's getting better. We continue to recruit well. Let's keep it going. But I do think the ceiling is 10-2, and I think the floor is 5-7.
Yeah.
And I can see either one of those things happening.
Yeah, let's start out
the fun thing. Yeah, we'll see what happens this year. It's a make or break year for Billy Napier. I mean, if he goes 2-4 off the start, it's going to get hot.
All right, I got one last thing for you before you go off to podcast land. Can you just your summation? Because I haven't talked to you since the run, but your take on what in the hockey sticks did I just watch Gator basketball season?
Yeah, I actually watched a little bit of it last night.
Where did that come from? My goodness.
Well, I knew they'd be good, but I didn't think they'd be like that. Nobody did. And look, very few teams go into the tournament thinking we can win it all. And I wasn't one of those. I mean, it bothered me when everybody was picking Florida. Yeah. And I'm like, no, stay under the radar. But, hey, look, this team had a special, what I call the clutch gene, which I think they had. And nobody had the clutch gene in spades like Walter Clayton. I mean, he was a special difference maker. We've been discussing whether he's the best player in Florida history, and it's hard to argue against it, because of what he did in the biggest. When the stage was biggest, that's when you find out what your clutch gene is.
Yeah.
So I mean, he was he was great, but I mean, they were just a great team, and it was so much fun to watch. And we go a whole year, nobody got in trouble, nobody did anything stupid. Yeah.
Their like of each other seemed genuine. Sometimes it seems a little forced.
Did. Yeah. And that's the thing that Todd Golden, when he came in here, he kind of sold Scott Strickland on the, hey, I'm going to be one of these guys. I'm going to be listening to their music. I'm going to be their, but I am going to be a tough taskmaster. And you watch him coach, and he is. They want to play for him, and that is, I think, the key. They want to be there, and they want to be him, and they want to make him happy.
I got a legitimate shot to run it back. We shall see. Pat, always enjoy. We don't talk enough. Appreciate you, my man.
Hey, anytime you need me, Jeff, you know that.
All right, there he goes. That's Pat Dooley, the czar of Southern college sports, and we sure appreciate him joining us for a little State of the Gator Union. Going to take a quick time out here on a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. I'm told we've also got speed traps out on Airport Road, so y'all get me. They're any and everywhere out there. Keep those speeds down. Be safe heading into the holiday weekend. We come back with Doc Murphy and the incredible shrinking staff of the Atlanta Braves. Next.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Well, I can't believe Sir Steven Spielberg, the grooviest filmmaker in the history of cinema, is making a movie about my life.
Dan Hicken.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
Hey, when it comes to insurance, I think we all think kind of the same way. Every now and then we'll look and go, gosh, that's a heavy monthly premium. And then we add it up in our head and we're like, man. Well, that's why if something happens and we need you, you need to be there. And that's what Craig and Chris Kaprowski do. They take this stuff seriously. This husband and wife team have teamed up to take care of all of our insurance needs. When I say take care of, I mean it. Something happens, you call the Kaprowskis, they jump on it immediately, they get you all the answers that you need, and they help you out. If they don't answer the phone, they call you right back. It's called customer service. Kaprowskis don't take it lightly. If it's homeowners, auto, flood, boat insurance, small business, the Kaprowskis will be there for you at your time of need. And I speak from experience. They've helped me, they've helped my son, they've helped my daughter many different times. Craig.Kaprowski at goosehead.com. Craig.Kaprowski, K-O-P-R-O-S-K-I, goosehead.com, or call 478-8422. 478-8422. Get that insurance checkup and get it today.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today. 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
Mia here, and I love my custom closet from Closets by Design. With summer in full swing, having my warm weather wardrobe front and center is a game changer. No more digging for the right outfit on a hot day. If your home needs a summer refresh, whether that be a closet, a garage, or a pantry, schedule a free in-home consultation with Closets by Design. And the offer has been extended, folks. Receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. And free installation on any order of $750 or more. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. In the summertime, it really can stretch out most of the year because we love the warm temperatures here in the Sunshine State. Greg, give them an idea of what Honda has to offer.
They are all over the board. They've got Honda scooters, Honda motorcycles, we've got Honda boats, we've got Honda side-by-sides. Whatever you like, we've got it.
That means adventure is waiting.
That's right, and we're ready for you.
In the showroom, you can find all that Honda has to offer on Atlantic near Regency, or check out Cycles of Jacksonville's Facebook page.
If you miss an interview, it'll be waiting for you on demand.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Search where you find podcasts. And at 1010XL.com. Trained by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden & Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
Calling all fun-loving citizens of Northeast Florida. Freedom Boat Club needs your help. Lisa the Botanista has gone missing. She left a note that said gone boating. But here's the thing. Freedom Boat Club has 4 local locations. Julington Creek, Jack's Beach, and 2 in St. Augustine. And over 400 locations across the world. That's a lot of water to cover. Is she water skiing on the Ozarks, whale watching in the Pacific, or island hopping in Spain? Or hiding right here at the Black Creek Rope Swing? Or docking at at the Conch House. Wait, has anyone checked Fort George Island? Too much to do on the water. So Freedom Boat Club is offering our best discount of all time, so you can help search. You simply make your reservation, show up, and have fun. I gotta go. I'm hopping on a boat to the fish camp for live music and lunch. Maybe I'll find the botanista there. Or better yet, maybe you'll join us with the best discount ever and enjoy boating made simple. Don't blame us when you start playing hooky too. Visit freedomboatclub.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
All right, sports fans, Hicken here. Let's talk skin. Me, myself, and I, and Beaches Dermatology, are reminding you all, man, wear that sunscreen, right? Got to wear the sunscreen. Why? Because you're outside all the time in this great state of ours that has and is the Sunshine State. So if you're an active parent hanging at the fields in your boat to fish, you like to chill at the beach, wear sunscreen. Because if you don't, there can be some ramifications, short and long term. Skin cancer is not something you want to deal with. So when grabbing the clubs for your tea time, you're gassing up the boat, you're grabbing the chairs for your kids' game, make sure to bring the screen. And if you have any concerns on your body right now, go see my friends, Doctors Boudreaux and Metz, the best in the business at Beaches Dermatology. By the way, they've been taking care of me for decades now. Give Beaches Dermatology a call online at beachesdermatology.com.
Are you ready to play this summer? At the First Coast YMCA, we're committed to being your home for health and wellness and a place for friendly competition with team sports for adults and for kids. Basketball, volleyball, pickleball, flag football, soccer. The Y has something for everyone at any age. Discover all the benefits of YMCA membership and find your fun this summer at the Y. Registration for team sports and summer camps is open now. Visit fcymca.org.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is not affiliated with the NFL or the Jacksonville Jaguars. Discussion regarding injuries is solely based on opinion. Coming up, the weekly Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Medical Report featuring Dr. Kevin Murphy, a board-certified orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine, upper extremities, and arthroscopy of the shoulders and knees. Dr. Murphy is a nationally and internationally recognized orthopedic expert. He's a former orthopedic consultant to the White House and the Pentagon, and currently serves as head team physician for UNF, the Jacksonville Icemen, and Northeast Florida area high schools.
All right, the best in the business is in studio with us, Dr. Kevin Murphy, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. We look at some of the injuries in the sports world. Doc, I'll start in Atlanta. Right, again, like case of the shrinking staff. I mean, these guys can't keep anyone healthy. Before we get to the latest, it's time to go back for the revisionist history the sports world puts us through. But Chris Sale, who dove off the mound and went to the 15-day IL with what I assume would have been a manageable rib fracture, he now goes to the 60-day DL. So what does that mean, Doc? He broke 4 ribs or he's soft? One of the two. Those are your two. So it's a multiple choice. I'm going to guess, being the team he plays for, that he's soft. But, I mean, I got a guy going to the IL for 60 days with a fractured rib? Is that right?
Well, that's a lot. That's a lot. Ribs, it's going to take a while to heal. It's going to take that long to probably heal it.
Yeah.
But it's a pain thing.
Yeah, you can't
It's
throw.
a pain thing. You see guys getting back and playing in football with that quickly. It is a pain thing. If you're going to get hit, it's worse. But, throwers, the rotation, I'm sure it's tweaking them.
Yeah.
And pitchers, one little thing like that, and they, throws them off. So
I'd like to give Sale the benefit of the doubt and say, well, maybe if the Braves were more in the race and were having a better year. But then I think about a guy who couldn't start for the last 2.5 weeks of the year and then skip the playoff start. So I'm not going to just give him I'm not going to expect some moxie-up effort from the big lefty who won.
it is a long time, to your point.
Come on.
Yeah, it's not a displaced fracture. It's just he's got a little crack, but it hurts.
All right, now I got a guy who apparently has an elbow fracture, who he thinks is Spencer Schwellenbach, by the way, Braves fans. You woke up to that news yet? Sale gone. Schwellenbach, he's also gone, I expect, for the year. They're saying his 60-day could bring him back in August or September. I'll believe it if I see it. But he is suggesting, I think he thinks, that the elbow fracture was caused by an increase in velocity that he has been searching for and finding. Is that plausible, or is that just another athlete talking out of turn?
No, there's something to that.
Okay.
So, it's interesting. A fracture in an adult elbow is a little unusual other than a traumatic thing. So throwers and young kids, there's a growth plate on that inside, what we call the epicondyle, and the flexor tendons of the forearm, all on the inside part that flex your forearm, gripping and throwing, they all attach on that elbow spot. And so it's not uncommon to have it pull off the growth plate because the tendon attachment is stronger than the bone attachment. But in adults, it's just the opposite. The bone is stronger than the tendon. So usually you get tendonitis or partial tendon tears or even a complete tendon tear as opposed to a fracture. So his could be just repetitive high-end torque on that elbow, but it's different than the Tommy John ulnar collateral ligament. Ligament connects, as you so astutely said earlier, ligament bone to bone. A tendon is muscle to bone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little different injury, but it's more likely the tendon attachment to the bone repetitively pulling on the bone and created a stress fracture.
Which of those is there's no good injury to have. Which of those offers the better chance to be full strength moving forward in your career? This injury or the Tommy John?
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
This you can bounce back. He's a young pitcher. He's been fantastic for the Braves. The starting pitching has been good for Atlanta. The hitting has been ridiculous, and the bullpen has famously failed in a few cases. But the starting pitching led really by Schwellenbach and really by Schwellenbach. He's the guy who's taken the ball and gone out, every start until now, and so now he'll be gone. And what's the solution here, Doc? Or is there one? You just kind of I feel now like it's going to take unicorns to give us the kind of sustained success that we've seen from some of the old school pitchers. Like, I'm going to tell you, Paul Skeens, 5 innings yesterday, throwing 1,000 miles an hour. I mean, just go ahead and tell you, Pirate fan, Paul Skeens will have his Tommy John. I don't know if it'll be this year or the next, but it's coming. Is there have we gotten to the point where there is no solution? If you throw 99 and you're a pitcher, you're going to have Tommy John one day.
Yeah, or this kind of injury. Yeah,
or this kind of injury.
Look at videos. They're out there on the position of the elbow as a pitcher throws a baseball. It is such a high-end torque position of the elbow. It just doesn't even look natural. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
And so that's a lot of stress on that ligament, and it fails very commonly. So, but to your point, there's a lot of guys that throw 90-plus miles an hour, and they don't all have this bone thing. So it's more likely to have the ligament injury. This is a little unusual to have the bone issue in an adult elbow.
All right, we were talking about another injury kind of came back to our attention yesterday when Damian Lillard got released by Milwaukee, and then a subset of that conversation that he's coming off an Achilles injury. Tyrese Halliburton tore his Achilles in the playoffs. Jason Tatum tore his Achilles in the playoffs. We just saw the Mets had a pitcher tore his Achilles just recently. And then we looked it up. It's not just, it feels like there are more Achilles injuries. There are more Achilles injuries. Are you seeing that locally, or is this a professional athlete and they've not focused enough time on building strength in those areas? Will we see a reaction to these Achilles injuries, or do you think this is just coincidence?
I think it's a one-off, but you'll definitely see a reaction from the medical staff. Absolutely.
Does it feel like there are more Achilles injuries than normal?
Oh, it does.
And can you pinpoint why?
Oh, boy. It's not like you could say, well, is it longer seasons and more stress, repetitive action, number of events that they're playing in? I don't think that's the case. I just think it's a random event.
I think I've mentioned to you, I feel like I'm going to tear my Achilles at some point. I can feel the strain in my leg. I feel it golfing when I do that move and I put that torque in my foot. Are there things people can do preventative to like either build up strength or to keep that from happening? Or if you feel like something's starting to go, are you just kind of at the whims of if and when that might happen?
Well, for sure. All that's true. So if you have a chronic issue where it's inflamed and
I'm not to that point.
And ignore it, and then you have the one episode where you step on something and hyperflex it and really stretch it, you're at risk for popping it. And that's a lot of times what you see in these athletes. But to your point, stretching it, and there's a couple ways to stretch your Achilles. There's a couple muscle groups that we don't need to get into, but you stretch it with your knee straight, and you stretch it with your knee bent, both to stretch that Achilles complex.
And you're pulling your toe back towards your chest.
You got it.
Both.
So, yeah, stretching it, that's really all you can do. But if you have symptoms, you need to back off because you're at risk for popping.
Mine isn't constant.
And
like
golf, the risk is certainly lower on that.
And I'll feel it every now and then, or I'll hit a swing and then get out of the cart a certain way, and I can just feel this like something not right.
But
down
if you're
there.
a runner, jumper, if you're feeling it there, get it looked at because you need to back off or it's going to pop.
That's your way of saying with the explosive ability you have, Jeff, you need to be extra careful. Thank you, Dylan. All right, I just got one more. My girl Caitlin Clark, I haven't been able to watch her lately. She's now 4 games gone on the groin injury. I don't know why. I've always felt like groin injury was like a male injury. Why is that, Dylan? I don't remember a female athlete being out with a groin injury. And by the way, I would also say this. If you're a guy growing up playing sports, there's no such thing as a, quote, minor groin injury. I mean, that's like a small fracture. A fracture's a fracture. So anyway, what's Caitlin Clark going through with this groin injury?
Yeah, same thing. It's the adductor, typically, the muscle that pulls the leg in. And they take a while. Not as bad as hamstring, but it takes a while to get that to go away.
In all seriousness, and I'm not saying this is one, but there are injuries that are more prevalent for female athletes than male and vice versa, right?
There are. And this is one.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I think you're accurate. That,
okay.
Yeah, I think guys aren't as flexible in their hips as women, and that's part of it.
We had one more question. I want to circle back to the Achilles, and we'll let you go do the important stuff today. People wonder with the Achilles, could it be the shoes? No, the shoes would be better than worse in the past, right?
Yeah,
so
I don't think it's
nothing
related
to do with
to the
shoes.
shoes. And these pro athletes, it's not like they're wearing out their shoes.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
they get new shoes.
All right, anything else? Got a big 4th scheduled? I could see you being a firework guy.
Are coming.
Nice. I could see you being like set up out on the dock and just fire it to the moon guy.
Not me.
Not do it, huh?
No, I've seen some things. I've seen some things.
Yeah, back up, Terry. Back up, Terry. Thank you, Doc. Have a good 4th. We'll see you next week. Back with more on a custom tree surgeons Thursday. I got the quarterback whisperer, Danny Thompson. I'm not afraid to make him do 2 segments. We'll see. Back with more next.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
He went head-to-head with Reggie White and Derek Thomas. But can he handle Joe Coward and Matt Hayes?
Let's go. Break you down. Come on.
Leon Searcy on XL Primetime.
That's what I'm talking about.
Afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Gang, it's one of life's most important decisions. If you're 18 years or older, you just got married, you just got divorced, you have children, you likely want to take care of your family. Of course you do. That's why I'm here to tell you about Matt Henson and the Henson Law Firm. I'm not the attorney, Matty is, but we both want to know, have you done your last will? Man, Dan, I don't know why you bring that up. That's depressing. No, it's not. Something you got to take care of, something you want to do because you work hard for your money. You want to get the money to the people that you choose. Planning also helps minimize income, gift, and estate taxes as well. Right? You want to have as much money as you can for your loved ones. Matt Henson will listen. He'll help you with your decisions. He'll provide you info needed so you're at ease with your choice. It's the Henson Law Firm. Real easy to get a hold of Matty. 527-1700, 904-527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. Gang, don't let the state decide your fate.
4 guys, want a golf course fairway quality lawn? TopDressing.com just landed in Jacksonville with the golf course secret for St. Augustine grass homeowners. A patented process that aerates and turns your turf into a fairway stunner. Serious golf course technology, but in your yard. Less water, tighter cuts, total neighborhood domination. No one else scores a perfect 10 lawn. Hit TopDressing.com now. You will own the block. Top dress your yard like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. As temperatures warm up around us, ants come out in droves. And when they move into your home or business, it's unnerving. Terminix knows that ants add up fast, but Terminix subtracts them faster because living with ants isn't any fun. When ants show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with an ant problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Zero Res. Man, I love the cleaning freaks. This week only, we salute the 4th. Zero Res offering 25% off all services. That's right, a 4th off for the 4th through the end of this week. So book it now, man. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Beards Diamonds is where Jacksonville shops for engagement rings and fine diamond jewelry. Hicken here, Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center stands out in a big way. They're local. The owners are a part of our community. Say hi to the Lupos. For more than 40 years, by the way. Money spent at Beards doesn't go to Wall Street. It stays right here. The best part, you don't compromise on anything. Beards has the best selection of diamonds in Northeast Florida, hands down. Beards doesn't have to jack up prices to meet a corporate bottom line. Beards doesn't have commission salespeople. They have trusted advisors. Beards has all the top names in bridal jewelry like Tacori, Veragio, and dozens more. Beards guarantees to give you a better price, a better value, period. Listen, a lot of those chain jewelry stores are all owned by the same mega conglomerate. They have different names, but they are all the same owner. Beards? No. Your locally owned alternative, beholden to the people of Jacksonville, not Wall Street. Don't buy a diamond ring or any piece of jewelry without talking to my friends at Beards. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center. Shop local, shop Beards.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coating. No massive overhead means top prices on top quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios too.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by TopDressing.com. ESPN's Adam Schefter says the buzz around the Jaguar offense is real. Expectations are sky high heading into camp, especially with Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr., and Trevor Hunter.
And I think this team is expecting to take a major leap on the offensive side of the football because of that offensive brain power that they've brought in this offseason.
On the recruiting trail, FSU took a hit in the trenches as four-star defensive tackle Kendall Gervil committed to Florida over the Noles and Texas, but the Seminoles bounced back, adding Ernest Rankins, another four-star lineman, to their class. Jumbo Shrimp launched 3 solo home runs but fell on a 9th-inning walk-off to Charlotte Wednesday night. The series rolls on Thursday at 6:05 p.m. from Truist Field. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
At 8:06, it's 77 degrees. Time and center brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler, Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3.
Gotta give you that boom boom. You're good, bro. You're good. Just strolling on in here, boss. We're good. Built for more. Jupiter Links. He's always here. He is, the Whisperer. Without further ado,
I know that if I walk in and I hear the music,
boom, boom, give me that boom.
Yeah, I got to speed up the pace a little bit.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
you're good.
Perfect timing. How you boys doing?
I'm good, man. How are you? What you got going on the 4th? Anything? You get to just relax a little?
Yeah, just hang at the house.
Yeah,
man.
good. That's the best plan. I mean, I said it. I guess I'm just going to do it every hour as part of my PSA. We're going to back up Terry here in just a second. But the most curious thing about, and you've been in Jacksonville forever, right?
Yeah.
Were you born and raised here?
No, I was born in Louisiana, raised in Arkansas.
Okay,
moved here in high school.
You've been here for a while.
So I've been here for a long time.
So you've been here in Jacksonville where the beaches they've been the same place since you came here, right? Because they're the same places when I moved here.
Yep.
And the calendar is still the same as what it was.
Same exact thing.
Still live the same day. Somehow, all of us who live here on the First Coast decide that we're going to go to the beach on Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day. It makes no sense. It's like we're on spring break from, Nebraska or something.
Yeah, we're operating at the opposite. We
that's
go
what we
every
do.
day, but
That's what I mean. That's the smart way to do it.
Exactly,
Listen, I'm a sucker too. They had me out there on Memorial Day. I'm walking 8 miles from Guanatu to, I don't need all that. It's hot out there to be. And by the way, we're so soft now too. Back in the day, you know what going to the beach meant? Grab your keys.
Yeah.
If I took a towel, it was lucky. And now, though, you got to have a tent, Denny. You got to have 4 different chairs. You got to.
I refuse to do it. I refuse to do it. I refuse to drag a wagon. I refuse to.
I got to do the tent. I'm not going to the beach without a tent. The tent's the greatest invention of the 21st century.
Yeah,
I love the tent.
It's like if I'm sitting at the beach and I'm dreading the packing up the whole time.
That part of it.
Yeah, I'm just not going to go.
Here's the deal with the tent. I got to be honest. The tents nowadays, buddy, you grab them, you roll them.
Yeah.
You roll them. That's all I take. I take a chair and a tent. That's all I need.
All right.
I got to have a tent. If I take a tent, I can stay at the beach literally for 10 hours.
We take a towel for each person.
There you go. So you're old school that way.
Exactly.
I don't want the sun. There's also that difference. Like, I don't go to the beach to get sun.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm opposed to it. I've never, but anyway.
Yes, I know.
We
It's
digress.
Probably not great for you, but I'm all about the sun.
Whatever. I love the sun. I've been talking a lot about this. Let's dive into it. With eager eyes, you'll be watching this. But I just feel like Florida Miami is just like could potentially position itself as a lot bigger game than we even think of right now. So before I ask you anything, give me your betting odds or puncher's chance of Florida at LSU the week before and Miami against Notre Dame in the opener.
Yeah. Well,
in other words, the game loses steam if they're not both 3 or 4-0.
Does it?
Because
because
it's a season ender for one of the two. Right. At least when it comes to Do you think I don't know what Notre Dame is. I don't see them, just rocking the top 5 like that. Is Notre Dame the favorite in that game?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think they'll come out. I haven't looked at it, but I would have bet they're a field goal favorite.
Okay.
I mean, they're top 10.
They are. They've been showing
Yeah.
up. Miami has. Here's what's interesting about Miami, Florida to me, and I'm going to bring it to your realm and with the quarterback comparison. But just about anywhere you look here in the preseason, Miami and Florida are within a couple spots of each other.
13, 15, 11, 13,
if
whatever.
you think Miami's 9, you think Florida's 11. You think Florida's 12, you think Miami's 14. They're all within a couple, which will also kind of.
Well, I think that Florida LSU game sets up well for Florida, honestly. Yeah, I really do. I think the Florida Miami game, I mean, Miami beat them so badly last year.
Oh,
I think
it really got away from them.
Yeah,
41-17, I think was the final.
I don't think that plays well for Miami.
No, I don't either.
Right,
Get your
Florida's going to
attention.
come in focused. It's in Miami. I don't know. I think both of those games for both schools are going to be within field goal lines of each other.
You do have this. Miami gets both those at home, and Florida's going to play both of them on the road.
Yep.
And I didn't even realize this because the program has been so mediocre since Billy got there. But 6-10 on the road under Billy Napier. Florida.
Really? I didn't know that either.
6-10. That gives you pause. Now they played their best football of the year in the last 4 games last year. We'll see if it can carry. I hate asking these questions. I hate asking questions that people, when they turn on the radio, expect you to know the answer. But I got to be honest, I haven't got to the Notre Dame depth chart yet. Who's their quarterback?
CJ Carr.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's a good player.
Okay.
We've worked with CJ for a while, actually. Lloyd Carr is his grandfather.
Okay, I remember that storyline. He signed, so he's a homegrown.
Yeah, he's.
Or did he transfer in from somewhere?
No, I mean he's signed with Notre Dame. He's a redshirt freshman, like elite skill set.
Okay.
Really good skill set. Now, it's going to be his first start, right?
Sure, yeah.
So you don't know what's going to happen with that.
I like that for Miami. Miami's not been a tremendous, like, it's not back in the old days when they won 56 in a row at home. Miami's not been good enough at home either.
No, and
that used to be a snake pit in college football, and it's not anymore.
I don't think anybody's questioning Miami's offense. It's just, what is that defense? The defense completely revamped. What's it going to look like? And I don't know the answer. I'm there all the time, and I don't know the answer to that.
Both teams are good in the trenches. Both teams have pretty good, well, Florida probably better defensive line than Miami's defensive line, but they both have good offensive lines, and Miami does have a top 10 defensive line mun.
Yeah, yep.
But overall, you wonder, that's fair. I mean, it could very well come down to the quarterback play, and it's an interesting. Now, granted, they'll have 3 big games of experience under their belt. DJ Langwell will have a start at LSU. Carson Beck will have his Miami, career begin with Notre Dame. But give me the similarities and differences between those two guys. Both guys you've worked with.
Yeah, I don't think there's many similarities. They look at the game differently, and I'm not bad on either way. Carson's a much more methodical, I know what you're trying to do to me. I know what we're trying to do to you. We're going to stick to the plan type of thing. And then occasionally, we'll take off and run. I think DJ looks for that opportunity to just put a dagger in somebody. Like he's looking for that downfield shot. Also a very smart football player, and very explosive. So that shows in his game as well. Not as many snaps as Carson. Very few people have as many snaps.
What was the last year? It was like 7 of 11 for 300 one game or something.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he looks for that opportunity to go deep. Carson kind of stays within the offense and will, if that presents he'll take it. So I think they're 2 different quarterbacks that'll have 2 different stat lines. One will 75% completion for 253 and, efficient. And the other is going to have, like you said, 11 completions for 310.
Yeah.
And a couple of runs as well. So both entertaining, though.
We're all excited in Gainesville about Trey Wilson and now Dallas Wilson, that combo. But I tell you who they're quietly kind of speaking up as that speed guy. And it would pair especially well with Lagway is the Sturdivant kid, apparently.
I have heard about the Sturdivant kid since last December.
See that? I don't think Gator fans sleeping on Sturdivant. We look at Trey Wilson and Dallas Wilson.
And I didn't hear it from Florida. I heard it from every other school I went to that was like, that Sturdivant kid that Florida got is legit.
But I think they're really especially excited, the college football world, because he fits so well with Lagway.
Yeah, He
takes on that, whichever was the deep guy. I think Badger was the deep guy. He takes that
well, to the, I think guy. To the bigger point, when you look at Florida and Miami, to stay with that matchup, I mean, both of them are great at receiver. I think both of them are. I mean, they don't have any complaints at receiver. Both of them are great at running back. Both of them are great at offensive line. I think everybody's got a ton of confidence in both quarterbacks. So neither one of them should really gripe about any type of scheduling because they're both top 10 in every single one of those positions. I think in college football, it's just which defense makes more plays, causes more turnovers. That type of stuff. And if both of them can have a defense that's a top 20 defense even, they should both be in the playoffs.
Give me a quarter. Listen, every year, by the end of the year, there's a quarterback that you weren't on at all, that we weren't on at all. Maybe Arizona's quarterback last year would fit that, Sam Levitt. Yep. Who are a couple of quarterbacks that are out there right now that could be like Sam Levitt and take their team to a playoff, or maybe they've been somewhere and they're ready to break out, or is out on that, that water cooler talk out there. Who are some quarterback names maybe that aren't Arch Manning and Garrett Nussmeier?
Well, I think the Baylor kid. I don't work with him. I've not seen him. Sawyer Robertson, I believe, is his name. Okay, I've heard amazing things about that kid.
Okay.
I really like, and a lot of people know this guy, but I really like John Mateer at Oklahoma.
Yeah, there have been a lot of people talking about. He's a transfer, right?
He's a transfer from Washington State.
Washington State, that's what it was.
Washington State. We've worked with him a little bit, and he has got just an elite skill set. And then the other one I would have said, but we already talked about him, was C.J. Carr. I think C.J. Carr is one of the better new starters around, along with the Ohio State kid. The Ohio State kid is...
new starter?
The new starter is a really good football player.
I mean, it just seems like the NIL has certainly changed the landscape, and the transfer portal is, maybe put you more on edge, but I don't feel any more differentiation between the power brokers and not. The ones that have found themselves, Ohio State, Texas, Alabama, Georgia, Penn State, Notre Dame are there now. Do they stay? I mean, the new system hadn't seemed to affect them.
We end up
get
in the
good,
same
you
place.
stay good.
Yeah, we end up in the same place.
Yeah.
Without question. And the other thing too, I think when you look at the quarterback position last year, everybody had a new quarterback. This year, it's not really like that. You know, Carson transferred and a couple other guys transferred, but you look at Ohio State bringing out a homegrown guy. You look at Notre Dame bringing out a homegrown guy. I think the kid from Baylor's homegrown. You got a lot of that. Marcel Reed stayed at Texas A&M. We could go on and on and on. Nuss is back at LSU. It's a much different feel at quarterback this year than was last year. I think we're settling more into what the normal is going to be.
I make a statement like this without bothering to go back and looking at the almanac year to year to year, but is this about as good and top-heavy a year for quarterback in the SEC? You got Arch Manning. You got, obviously, DJ Lagway. You got Nussmeier. You got Lenore Sellers.
Yeah.
I probably haven't even gotten to a couple more that are a day. Imagine if Carson stays, what that lineup would have looked like in the SEC.
Well, and that's how is Georgia's quarterback going? How's Gunner going to play? I don't know.
That's a question for you. That was next, by the way, so you can just next segment, Denny asks himself the questions.
I'm easy look ahead. I don't know much about the kid.
Yeah.
But
he just seemed kind of gritty. I don't know how great he was. I mean, he went in and he got the job done. I think everybody thinks that Georgia can just plug in and make a guy Stetson Bennett.
Right.
You know, most of the time for these superstar programs, they've got big name, high profile quarterbacks. They're not.
Because you see all the rankings, Georgia's in the top 3.
Yeah.
But nobody ever talks about them.
No, I think they just assume.
Right.
And I don't,
Right.
and that is that. You know, I think they've had better running back rooms than they have at Georgia. It's not a bad room.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the potential there for Georgia to fall back more than people are.
Well, the receiver room, you know, they signed a couple of guys in the portal this year, but I mean, they haven't played at Georgia before. I don't know what that receiver room is going to look like. I'm not saying that they're going to be down. I think if Gunner plays upper half football in the SEC, like they're probably still there, but it's the quarterback situation I hear very few people talking about.
All right. I hate for you to drive all the way over here and not stick around and
I'll stick around.
Hit the NFL side of things.
Let's do it.
Got some questions on the NFL side of the quarterback room. When we come back on the other side, visiting with the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson. It's a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. You're listening to The Drill.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. Buckle up and grab the wheel.
Am I dreaming right now?
It's a Sunday street race in the city of Chicago.
Yeah, baby! Yeah, baby!
Powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower, 1010XL.
Power bill just went up again? Why keep paying more? Clay Solar can wipe that electric bill out. Right now, they'll cover your first 6 months' payments. Visit claysolar.com today to schedule your free consultation. claysolar.com.
Pickett here with lots more on George Moore Chevrolet. Hey, Justin Moore, what are you doing in our commercial?
Dan, this Moore just wanted to remind folks of vehicles less than $20,000 on our lot. Or you can always go more with our Silverado EV.
I have my boy Blue, that beautiful Gator Blue Silverado. Love, love, love it. And that service department, second to none. Let's just say it means more to Gabe and the boys who take great care of us.
Not to mention, we do more for the community. We love Jacksonville. Been around these parts since 1986.
George Moore Chevrolet. Need I say more?
Duval Fence is looking for the best in fence installers. Check out DuvalFence.com right now and fence in a great job opportunity. From estimates to installers, they're looking for you right now. Log on to DuvalFence.com for all the details. Equal opportunity employer.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Go ahead and dial it. Dial what? When you call in your opinion or hear an interesting interview from a sports insider on Jaguars Today or XL Primetime, you're getting it straight from the Checkmate Coatings phone line. All day, every day on 1010XL.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference. For 100 years, service you can trust. Lee and Kate's Glass, depend on us. Glass solutions to meet your needs. Reliable quality guarantee. Complete customer satisfaction. With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Love is in the air. At Beards Diamonds, listen up. Couples, this is a great offer. Hick and here from my friends at Beards Diamonds. Out for a limited time. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. That's right. When you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Woo! You about to get married or been married for years, thinking it's time for an upgrade? You can't miss the deal of the year on the ultimate symbol of love. Beards has hundreds and hundreds of bands. Top designers, white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, eternity bands. Oh, my goodness. Nobody has a bigger or better selection of wedding bands than Beards. So get to Beards. Find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second free. Hey, the big box corporate jewelry stores, they can't touch this. But Beards can. Through June 23rd, buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss the opportunity to celebrate. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center. Shop local.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Frank Franzi here for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Hal Sutton when he famously said, "Be the right club today"? Well, that's what Coil Fencing delivers. The right fence today. And they've been delivering the right fencing for both commercial and residential properties for nearly 100 years. If you're in the market for a new fence, call Coil & Sons today at 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, buddy. Why so glum?
Stinky ice cubes, Jason. It's all downhill from here.
What?
The tap water at my place smells kind of funky. Funky tap water makes funky ice cubes. I meet a nice girl, invite her back to my place for a cocktail, and blow my whole romantic gesture with a mojito that smells like dog's feet.
Wait, I can totally make you way cooler.
I'm not taking your charity ice cubes, Jason. I have my pride.
Your pride is safe. Our plumbers can be at your house the day you call and install a whole home water purification system. Water tastes better, dishes come out cleaner, even your hair feels better after you shower.
Ooh, the ladies love a man with soft hair, don't they, Jason?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend every day worried about the water in your own home, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
All right, I'm going to do the Trevor Lawrence litmus test here with Denny Thompson, okay? All right. As I do this with everyone, this is the most fascinating thing. Dylan, you get to play along, too. I've done this with so many people that have come through the audience, and it's just, or through the show, and it's just amazing what even the naysayers and doom dwellers will offer up. I'm just going to ask you, just top of your head right now, 17-game season upcoming. Give me what you think. How many passing yards, touchdowns, and interceptions Trevor Lawrence will have?
I'm so bad at this.
I know you are, but just, again, I will, to wit, Baker Mayfield threw 4,541 and 17, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to go 4,100.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go 35 touchdowns and let's go 9 interceptions.
Wow.
That's an incredible year.
That'd be an incredible year.
Yeah.
Dylan, where are you on the Trevor Lawrence hype train? Are you in the it hadn't been near enough and it's never going to be? Is it there's been other issues? Just like overall, where are you? Where's your confidence meter? It's probably the best way to say.
The confidence meter, I think, is the middle of the pack quarterback.
Okay, there you go. There you go. There's your confidence meter. That being said, in a 17-game season that's about to come, and before we do, I'll just let me throw a comparison out. Trevor's best year, the injury-free year that they went to the playoffs, he threw
25 touchdowns. I forget the yards.
He threw for 4,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks. And then the following year, and most of this damage was done up into midseason when he got hurt, he threw for 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 14 picks. So in this season under Liam Cohen with Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr., give me what you think Trevor Lawrence's season numbers will be.
I say 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 8 or 9 picks.
Okay, so at least what I have here is a man true to his conviction.
Wow.
Because everybody else that I ask, even the ones that are soft on Trevor, what are his numbers going to be? Oh, I don't know, 4,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, 13 picks. Oh, and that's not good, is it? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dylan, by the way, if there are no injuries, this is the most asinine projection I've ever heard. Yeah.
And you can bet this on Hard Rock.
Yeah.
Hard Rock has Trevor over under 21 and a half touchdowns.
Okay, well, the 3,500 is the ridiculous one.
And the passing yards for Trevor is 3,700.
Yeah, I'd go way over 30. And now, listen, here's the risk you run. I will guarantee you this. If Trevor Lawrence plays 17 games, he will smash those numbers.
Yeah, they're
smash them, but you got injuries.
They got to be figuring in. Yeah,
I'm going, but where do you say that is? Hard Rock?
Yeah, Hard Rock.
Yeah, Mrs. P's the degenerate in the family. She's got the Hard Rock app, so I'm going to go home and put some cash down on that one. That's silly. 3,700 yards. The guy in his terrible years, the year with Urban, 36-41.
Yeah,
with Urban.
Yeah.
And no receivers, nothing.
Well, let me tell you my reasoning behind this. I think this new staff, they have to. Their job depends on Trevor doing well.
For sure.
I think Trevor now is so involved with this new staff, and I don't know this for sure. I haven't talked to him about this. That he's part of the game plan. He understands what's going on. We're at a point in his career where he has seen a lot now. He's a vet. He's a true vet now, right? So now it shouldn't be those things where a certain defense just wrecks his whole day. He's seen that. He's worked through that. So I think his bad days are going to be better than what they've been in the past. And then I think he breaks through, and I think he finds ways to throw touchdowns in the red zone where in maybe the past they've fallen a little bit short.
What I really believe is that we're about to see finally a 4-year run of continuity and consistency. And 4 years from now, Trevor Lawrence is going to look a lot like what Matthew Stafford looked like 8 years into his career. That's what I believe. Hopefully, for all of the Jags fans' sakes out there, hopefully that's where it lands. There's a quarterback name that just keeps flying. There's been a lot of expectations, hope, and on Drake May. And New England is a team now with Vrabel there and some moves they make that they're probably not that completely lost ship that they were under Mayo. And so is Drake May in that division good enough to be a difference maker and put maybe because if you look at power polls now, you'll find New England ahead of Miami Dolphins, ahead of the Jets. Is Drake May good enough, and will that team make that jump?
Yeah, I think he is. I think Drake May is a really good player. That class last year is going to end up being one of the better classes in
quarterback class or draft class. Quarterback
class. All really talented guys. I don't think any of them are really that overhyped.
Hey, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams,
Drake, Penix,
Michael Penix, Bo Nix, yeah. 5 in the first, and they all made strides last year.
Absolutely, and I think they will continue. I think some of them could have like that sophomore slump we saw with C.J. Stroud, but no, I think Drake May is the real deal. I think they've built the team around him really well. The expectations. I was listening to a podcast the other day where New England fans think they're going to win.
That's
10
what
games.
I'm saying. They're the New England optimism up there is pretty high right now.
I think Vegas has them at like 6 though.
They love Vrabel too.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Vrabel's coming home. Listen, I got
a good coach.
He's very successful in Tennessee. Yeah. Very successful. It's a great hire for them. A perfect fit for the Patriots. A Patriot guy, and I think I'm fascinated to see. I feel like the Patriots, and with Vrabel, if May plays good, I think they do become a 9-10 win team.
Well, I think it's a big year for C.J. Stroud. I mentioned him a second ago.
For Houston.
Oh my gosh, huge year for C.J. Stroud.
And so what happened? What's happened that makes you say that? He wasn't good enough last year?
That rookie year, he was so good, and it wasn't fake because he was throwing with great anticipation. And then last year, it just did not look the same. Not even close. And I understand he has some injuries, things like that. But if kind of what we're talking about with Trevor that he didn't do in that follow-up year is if you're going to be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, like you're going to have to put together this next year. And I don't know, man. He didn't seem to have the gas last year that he had.
Oh, he didn't have the same year. I'm looking here. He only threw for 3,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 picks, passer rating 87.
So I'm saying who is he? And did the NFL kind of figure him out after year one, or is he figuring this thing out? And huge year for him.
Passer rating isn't the be all end all, but just for a comparison, you've got C.J. Stroud with an 87 passer rating. Trevor in a god-awful, forget about it, years, 85. I mean, he's right there with the same kind of numbers. I didn't realize. I knew he had kind of fallen off a bit. I didn't realize maybe quite to what end. I saw this story. Man, too soon? Is this media created or is this real? React to this headline. Colorado Buffaloes football legend Shedeur Sanders may expect Browns to cut him. Is on CFL's negotiation list with the Argonauts. Are we taking him just placing himself on this list and making too much, or does a legitimate young NFL prospect put himself on some, what do they call it, negotiation list with a CFL team?
I mean, there's a lot of guys drafted or claimed by CFL teams. Like if you look up just about any quarterback that's come out in the last couple of years, a CFL team has a claim to him. So I don't know enough about that process, but I don't remember any of them getting to that point.
I think
that's a headline. Listen, they're not cutting.
They haven't made that decision yet.
They're not going to cut him. No. Why would you cut him? Like you don't have to cut him. You got a practice squad spot there. Like that would be. Yeah.
What you would do, the mistake that you may, if you're going to cut Shedeur Sanders, it would just even over magnify the ridiculous decision to draft him. You took Dylan Gabriel, the pick before.
The kid's good enough where he
should be drafted, but I don't know.
No, he's good enough to where he's not going to sit on a practice squad. Somebody's going to claim him.
Every time.
Point. Yeah.
Every time.
At least for the next couple years.
Who are the three quarterbacks then on that team? Because you got Pickett and Flacco.
I know.
And then you got the two young guys. I think they may pick him up, but I think you're going to have to put Shedeur on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Or does Pickett get cut and you go with two rookies taking up active game day?
Yeah, I don't know. That is tough. You got to feel like one of those. Pickett seems like he would be a decent trade bait.
Is Pickett been given the right look or shot yet?
Yes.
He has. He's not very good.
I'm not a big fan of his. I mean, he can throw the ball well. And there was 2 preseasons ago that I thought, man, this guy may be the next Joe Montana. But then when he gets in that game atmosphere, something just seems to misfire. But he is a good, that guy right there, or that type of guy is a great trade bait through training camp. Somebody loses a 2, you may get a 5th out of it, a 6th out of it, something like that. So I wouldn't.
Never going to play for you, or at least make any kind of impact. I'm with you on Pitt. When you're on Team 3, you can't just blame the Steelers for not developing him. Right. Right. Although with the Eagles, you were never really.
He went too early in the draft too. Yeah, I mean, he was a third-round pick.
Yeah,
and they reached on him in the first.
Yeah, they probably panicked a little bit there.
Yeah. He'd probably be fine if he was still the backup off that third-round pick. He'd probably be fine right now.
Do you feel like Daniel Jones or AR is going to be that starter in Indy? I mean, I ask it as a division question more than a Denny question.
If I just use logic here, and I haven't talked to anybody about this because that's an awkward thing to bring up, right? I mean, I don't know how you don't find out what you've got with Anthony.
So you are definitely think it's a mistake for people to think they have, quote, found out?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into that. I'm afraid I'm just wrong. He's not going to be able to package it all together. I don't know him as well as you.
The thing is, he's got to stay healthy.
Right.
We keep having the same conversation.
And he can't have these little.
But that's part of not ever playing.
Okay.
Not the tap in the head. That was just
no. I hear you. Yeah.
Momentary lapse of all judgment. But the mistakes he's making is the kid still has only started what, I don't know, 30 games.
Yeah.
Since not since that's in the NFL.
Right.
That's since high school.
Right.
So he just can't get the reps. He just keeps getting these little injuries, and they're all weird injuries. But I think if you're Indy, and if I didn't know Anthony at all, my assumption would be like, you got to find out what you got with this guy. You got to get him some reps. I don't feel like Daniel Jones has the upside, or I know he don't have the upside Anthony has. But, again, that's no inside information. That's just me kind of using common sense of like, man, you may have something here. You need to find out if you do before you move on.
It's weird. I kind of look at some of these questions through the lens of the Jaguar fan, and as the culture coming to town, who would you rather be the quarterback? And I'm not sure. I would have thought by now I wouldn't want it to be Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I don't think you do want it to be Anthony Richardson.
That has been stunted, though. That growth has been stunted.
Yeah, but there's still that, like, hey, if we hit him on the right day, it's a problem.
We look at the pressure is on kind of list. They put Trevor on that list. I think that's kind of silly. They just paid him all that money.
Yeah, right.
But is Kyler Murray in that cat? Like, who are the quarterbacks that their team might really be giving them their last look this year if they don't see what they want?
I think Kyler has to be on that list.
Yeah.
Has to be.
It feels like it.
Yeah. And of course, we just mentioned, what's going on in Indy. And then outside of that, I mean, what are you doing? What's Pittsburgh's long-term plan there? What does that look like?
Apparently, their Pittsburgh's long-term plan looks like FSU's long-term plan.
Okay.
Let's just go get whoever's available now to get us through the next year. It was Russell Wilson, then it's Aaron Rodgers. Over there, it's DJ, and then it's Castellanos. You got to have that guy who's your guy. And when Norvell had it with Jordan Travis, look what happened.
Yeah, I do wonder, though, if there's some teams that are looking forward to that draft class next year because...
Yeah, tank it a little.
Yeah, there's nobody that you full out tank for.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need a quarterback and you're in the top 10, that's a pretty good year to do that. So I don't know. I mean, there's not like I don't think there's a Trevor Lawrence or Andrew Luck where somebody looks up, week 7 and goes, we don't want to win another game. But there's
enough
very highly thought of quarterbacks to where you may want to be in the top 10.
You're not going to have sleepless nights if you're struggling down the stretch based on what's coming up. Hey, man, I appreciate the double duty.
Of course.
I appreciate you. Have a great 4th of July. Sounds like you got the smart plan. Just keep it low-key inside, away from the crazies.
Exactly.
All right, that's the Quarterback Whisperer. We will come back on the other side. As I was clicking around here during the segment, I came across this on ESPN, and they're ranking the best NFL draft pick of all time at every slot. In other words, who's the best number 1 pick of all time? Spoiler alert, they say Peyton Manning. There's going to be at least one serious argument for just about every one of these spots, but we'll pick and choose some. I'm curious, did the Jaguars hit it at any spot? In their history, between 1 and 262, do they have the best player ever taken at that particular spot? We'll see. You're listening to The Drill. It's a custom Tree Surgeons Thursday.
The Drill. From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. More football.
Give me the ball.
More sports talk.
That's the foundation of this team.
More Jacksonville.
An entire city.
1010XL.
Bring it in, guys.
When you want more.
When it comes to towing products, your safety is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Yo, it's your main man E.T. here for Explore Clay. And Clay County is your destination this 4th of July. Start the morning with the Freedom 5K in Keystone Heights. Medals for the first 300 finishers and a scenic course through the shaded neighborhoods. Then enjoy the 57th annual celebration at City Hall with vendors, live music, and family fun. Wrap up the day at Moose Haven in Orange Park for the American Pride 4th of July, a free Riverside event with food, live entertainment, and fireworks over the St. Johns River. Discover more at exploreclay.com.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Barr here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barr Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit barrorthopedics.com.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better.
better together.
1010XL is a proud supporter of this year's Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament, the largest fundraiser for marine charities. To join the fun July 10th through 19th at the Jim King Park and Boat Ramp, go to kingfishtournament.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, Hicken here with a game changer. Look, I've tested the field, and I got a winner. It's Checkmate Coatings. And Checkmate Coatings, keyword there is coatings. That's my new go-to for durable, jaw-dropping floor coatings. Better play, better results. And they'll coat anything, right? They can coat your garage. Start there, man. You change your garage, it is a game changer. Like I said, it is a game changer. They will coat your patio, your pool deck, your driveway, whatever you want, they can do. And Brendan's the owner. He's an awesome guy, man. Brendan's a local dude, understands floor coatings, understands the chemistry of it, can sit there and talk with you. He's got Jacksonville crews keeping prices low with no massive overhead. So here's what I tell you. Just check them out. Slam dunk your floors at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings. It's your floor's missing piece.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On July 3rd, 1987, Darryl Strawberry threatened his teammate for criticizing his play. Darryl Strawberry is now an ordained minister.
Hey, Jacksonville, Hicken here. I've been around the block or two, and Checkmate Coatings is who I call for my own place. They're my new MVP for stunning, long-lasting floors.
Brendan here with Checkmate Coatings. No massive overhead means top prices on top-quality pool decks, driveways, garages, and patios, too.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com today. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
How much do the performers for Super Bowl halftime shows get paid?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Super Bowl performers are not paid for their shows, but production costs are covered by the NFL, which could go as high as $15 million.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at ITP Partners. We're facing interesting economic times, right? Dow goes up, Dow goes down, Dow goes up, Dow goes down. Tariffs, I can't make sense of it, but my guys at ITP Partners can. Jacksonville folks taking care of my Jacksonville money, and that is a comforting thing. It's the experience, it's the expertise, it's the knowledge, and it's the openness of Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They're always there for me, right? Always there for me. And listen, 3 generations of Hickens have invested at ITP Partners, and they listen, and they give us each individualized strategies where our goals become their priority. It's a great time to get in the game. ITP Partners are always there to help. Chris at ITPPartners.com. Easy to get a hold of, or call 312-9751, 312-9751. They're ITP Partners. They're my financial partners for life.
David here with Royal Pest Services. It's back. Our summer Centricon Termite Special. New installs begin as low as $249. And if you have existing Centricon, but your renewal is through the roof, we can transfer you to Royal at no cost. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Deer Drill is going to fire up today. I've gotten one in the Deer Drill mailbag, and I like this one a lot because it is it's a Deer Drill golf situation.
I seen it.
You like it?
I do.
Yeah. So Deer Drill coming up tonight. We're going to keep you out of the sordid mess, although maybe we'll hit a couple of more. In fact, yeah, we probably should 4th of July. It's a time where we need. You need a lot of advice, a lot of guidance. You got backup Terry in there. Here's a reminder on one, to be extra careful with your fireworks this weekend. Number two, if you do have a buddy who is confined to a wheelchair, maybe take better care of him than Terry's buddies did a few 4th of July's ago.
Hold the hands, Chico. Hey, hold on.
They got a bottle rocket next to his wheelchair, and they're lighting it. And then he's going to get out of the way.
Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry? Terry, what
Sources have it. Terry survived.
Yeah, so y'all be careful out there. You might don't scare the devil out of somebody on your way. But yeah, maybe if you need 4th of July advice, we got golf advice. We'll get some relationship advice. That's all coming up with a Deer Drill. I really kind of feel like I've become the real advisor for the Deer Drill segment. So we'll be fine today. A tad short-staffed. All right, the best NFL draft pick at every slot. They got Peyton Manning as the best number 1 pick of all time. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Wouldn't that be pretty cool? It doesn't mean you're the best player of all time or the best quarterback of all time even, but when it comes to number 1 picks, and there have been some great ones, man. A lot of Hall of Famers. 14 Hall of Famers have been selected with the first overall pick since 1936, and of them all, they say Peyton Manning is the best.
Even over John Elway.
Yeah. Yeah, look, Elway saved his entire career and legacy with those two late those two late titles that came by the time that he wasn't the driving star anymore. By then, it was Terrell Davis. John Elway's a heck of a quarterback. He's an awesome Hall of Famer. I'm not diminishing him. I don't put him quite as high as some others do. And I would put Peyton Manning. If you told me I could have Peyton Manning or John Elway, I'd take Manning. Ultimately, you got to look at these questions like this. If you could have Peyton Manning or Bruce Smith, who would you take?
Yeah,
Peyton Manning or Orlando Pace. Peyton Manning or Terry Bradshaw. Peyton Manning or Earl Campbell. You're going to take Peyton Manning.
Troy Aikman.
Yeah, 5
Earl
MVPs,
Campbell.
buddy.
Yeah.
5.
Did Elway play at least 12 years before he got his first title?
Yeah, forever. And he lost, more than 1 Super Bowl, 2 or 3 or 4, I think. Who did the Broncos lose to with Elway? They lost to San Francisco one year. They lost to Washington one year. Lost to the Giants one year. Yeah, Elway lost a ton of Super Bowls, man. The Bills take the big knock for losing 4 in a row, but the Broncos were dropping Super Bowls regularly also.
And they weren't even close. They lost to the Giants 39-20, 42-10 to the Redskins, 55-10 to the 49ers.
Yeah. And now they lost to Dallas in the 70s, but that wasn't Elway yet. That was Craig Morton quarter. That's how I go. Craig Morton quarterback in the Denver Broncos. That was the Orange Crush Denver Broncos, a phrase many of you aren't even familiar with, but they certainly embraced that in the mid-70s. Okay, yeah, Peyton, 5 MVPs, 2 Super Bowls, single-season passing record, 55 touchdowns, single-season yardage record, 54-77. Yeah, I think it's deserved. The best number 2 pick of all time? God, these are good players. This is really, if you're a top 10 pick, this is a real feather in your cap to win these polls. Don't you think, Dylan?
Oh, in this list for sure.
Yeah, it's the best of the best. You're like, Lawrence Taylor gets the vote. I got no problem. Julius Peppers, Calvin Johnson, Saquon Barkley, Nick Bosa. But LT, dude, he was a dog, wasn't he? Best 3 pick? Anthony Munoz, Joe Thomas, Hall of Famers. Barry Sanders, best 3 pick. Best 4 pick? With all due respect to Charles Woodson, Derek Thomas, Mean Joe Green, go Walter Payton. Best 5 pick? Jalen gets mentioned. Jalen gets too much love, man. He's good, but man, he ain't Junior Seau, LaDainian Tomlinson good. Is he? Jalen?
No.
Maybe he is. Maybe I'm just I'm just being, Dion, though, is your winner at the 5 in the 5 hole. Jamar Chase already getting some love there, too. 6, Walter Jones. 7, Adrian Peterson. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to start scrolling. Patrick, I'm going to point out some interesting notes, and then I'm mainly looking for a Jaguar. I think one thing you're going to find here is the level of talent you can get. I mean, Sapp 12, Donald 13. Think about these unbelievable players and how long they lasted on their draft nights. Jerry Rice, certainly the best number 16 pick of all time. Emmitt Smith, the best 17 pick. All right, I got to see if I can find a Ray Lewis, the best 26 pick. Dan Marino, the best 27 pick. Derek Brooks, the best 28 pick. Drew Brees, the best 32nd pick. Brett Favre, 33, the best ever, first pick of the second round. Still a lot. These are almost all. I bet you just about everybody on this daggum list is going to be near Hall of Fame. You may not remember, Michael Strahan went 40th. Gronk, 42. There's some good players to go.
All right, I found a Jaguar.
I got Derrick Henry. Yeah, that's good. You can scroll faster.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry, 45. The 45th pick, the best 45th pick ever. All right, he was drafted by the Jaguars.
Yes.
Okay. It's got to be all right, we don't have a lot of awesome players, dude. Hold on. It's going to have to be a late round pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we haven't had any. I find it hard to believe that we drafted a guy in the late rounds who is the best player ever taken at that draft slot. Because we haven't drafted anybody of any real.
It was pick number 178.
Okay.
And they picked this guy in the last decade.
Pick 178. Is that Telvin Smith?
No.
Is that
he's still in the league?
What round is? Tell me what round that is. 178.
It should be the 6th.
Let's see if
the 5th or 6th.
Okay, 5th or 6th round. Man, I'm going to be honest.
He's an offensive guy.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Very popular. He's a backup right now. Almost gave up the position.
No, don't do that. Yeah, it's just hard to imagine the Jaguars have taken. God, this is. I'm sorry for number 166. What did you say it was?
178.
178 Jaguars. What am I?
I think this is a 5th rounder.
I don't know, man. But only because he put up some really, really. Is it Minshew?
It is Minshew. Gardner Minshew.
Wow.
Greatest draft pick at 178.
The best 178 ever taken, huh?
According to ESPN.
Yeah, this is be really, really hard to parse through. Let me go all the way down there.
You scroll down and you see right past Gardner Minshew. Pick 183, Bo Jackson.
Yeah. He was also like a 1 or 2 pick one time and said no.
He was the 1, right?
It was the 1 they said.
Yeah.
Such a Bucks move. Is that it for the Jags? You went through the rest?
I'm
scrolling
I didn't
down.
scroll through the 200s.
Tom Brady, 199. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a given.
Seth Joyner, man, some 7th. Look at these 7th
Nope,
round.
that was the only Jaguar.
Yeah, that's it. And he was here for like a cup of coffee. All right, we're going to take a turn to the landscape we call the 9 o'clock nasty. Dylan has just been dying for this hour to get here.
We got some culture to talk about.
Oh, we'll do that. So we'll see what's trending coming up this hour. We'll also do deer drill. In fact, why don't we do deer drill when we return? All right, we'll do deer drill. We'll take a quick time out. Then we'll see what's trending. Then we'll get you ready for your holiday weekend. It's Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday on 1010XL.
The Drill.
From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios.
Something is coming. It's 1010XL.
We actually found it! Yes, that's all that matters to me.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group in Stark and Kingsland. Save yourself from those big city dealers and their fast-talking flim-flam tactics. No matter what your automotive need is, we've got you covered. Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and nobody beats our prices, and I mean nobody. Shazam! Plus our exclusive 15-year, 150,000-mile warranty included on every qualified vehicle. And we'll trade anything from AirPods to fishing rods. Compare our prices online at ShazamAuto.com. Then come see me, Dale Murray. I'll be waiting for you. Shazam!
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
I've been having knee problems for probably 6 months, and my knee was getting worse, and I had heard about Southeast Orthopedics on the radio, and I gave them a call. They got me right in. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. It was painless, and it's been doing fantastic. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Duck Rooter. We've seen it all. Whatever's blocking your pipes, we'll get it flowing again. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule your drain cleaning service. That's 904-862-6769 or online at duckrooter.com.
If someone you love needs a pick-me-up, then it's time to get serious about it and send them a Kuhn floral arrangement. Max Fink here with 1010XL. You'll be assured of quality delivery, that's for sure. Log on and order online at kuhnflowers.com.
Are you struggling with hair loss? At IHRS, we understand because we've been there too. We're dedicated to finding the best solution tailored just for you.
My hair looks great. It was thinning, and IHRS restored my hair.
It's now fuller, it's thicker, voluminous. It's made me feel great.
With the latest technology and FDA-approved laser therapy, PRP, and non-surgical hair addition, we offer guaranteed solutions for men and women.
With over 35 years of experience, IHRS found a hair restoration for us, and we can find one for you.
For me.
For me.
And me too.
Visit hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS. Get a free microscopic analysis and get to the root of your problem. This $395 analysis is yours for free. Call 904-777-4477 now.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With the weather now hot as can be, look ahead and get that backyard ready for fall with a new open air or screened-in enclosure. Maximize the space you have and make it great with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. They truly are the best in the business. So if you have the space and the idea, give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Tell them Prosser sent you.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Registration is now open for the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament with over $450,000 in cash and prizes. Fun starts on July 13th with the inaugural Kickoff Beach Tournament that has a $50,000 cash first place prize. There's also a junior offshore tournament and one for the lady anglers. Best of all, the winner of the General Offshore Tournament takes home a Contender 28T with twin Yamaha 200s. Register today at kingfishtournament.com.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. Saints defensive end Cam Jordan joined ESPN's NFL Live and shared his thoughts on Travis Hunter's snap count, saying the rookie two-way role is special, but questioned how sustainable it will be long term.
Do I think that he has 120 snaps in him? Yes. For a season? Probably. For 10 years? Absolutely not.
In gaming news, EA Sports dropped its top 20 QBs for college football 26, and Florida's DJ Lagway cracked the top 10 with a 90 overall rating, solidifying his spot as one of the game's breakout stars. And in women's soccer, Sporting Jacks kicks off training camp July 8th ahead of its debut Gainbridge Super League season with the preseason opener set for August 2nd. Club just announced a major jersey partnership with Ascension St. Vincent, bringing local healthcare support to the pitch. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
At 9 o'clock, it's 78 degrees. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010 XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
I'm fed, feeling X-rated. It's Mr. Nasty time. Oh, Mr. Nasty time. The nasty time.
It's time. Now, it's time for the 9 o'clock nasty on the drill.
We're wasting time.
Here are Jeff Prosser, Dan Hicken, and E.T.
All right, we are ready for the 9 o'clock hour here on the 3rd of July. Keep it safe now. Keep it safe out on the water and out on the roads, and more importantly, in that war zone we call the American cul-de-sac. The shelling will continue until deep in the night. Some of you may find this hard to believe due to my propensity to give you a good rant. I don't mind the fireworks, dudes. When my kids were younger, maybe I did. I don't think so. That's more of a dog thing. If you got a dog, you hate fireworks shooters. Maybe some of you hate it anyway. I could sleep through anything. I've learned that with the schedule I have to keep. So y'all can shoot them off till 3 a.m. as far as I'm concerned. I won't hear a thing. Now, when you had those little yappy dogs, they would go crazy every time they went off. But I get a kick out of all the Karens, all you uptight boomers, about 9 o'clock. You go to your apps and your social media and start whining and crying to everybody about how you don't want, any fireworks and this, that, or the other. And then we always go to this card. I love this one. Let's go to the PTSD card. This is not to minimize those that have served and haven't, and it's real, and I'm sorry. But come on, man. So I get a kick. I'll be rooting for you hooligans shooting off your fireworks at 12:30 if it means my neighbors in the neighborhood in the next door app are whining, complaining, and losing their mind. It's worth it to me. Shoot them till 4 just to make their heads explode because they whine and complain about everything. Y'all know the type. Dylan, I had to get on this next door app. If I ever was going to get on social media, this was a good one to say, what in the world? Because I found a dog one time. And I had no way to, I don't have any social media, Facebook or anything. So I'm trying to do the right thing here and find, and get this dog back. So, through my suggestions, I ended up on this Nextdoor app. Have you heard of this thing?
I've heard of the Nextdoor app,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so the Nextdoor app is just a conglomeration of lightly treated sewage versus the Facebook and the others, which is just full-born sewage. There's no treatment at all. The Nextdoor app is more about the judgmental, condescending DB. That's who's on the That's who's on the Nextdoor app. Judgmental, condescending, better and smarter than you, bunch of gerbils. That's what Nextdoor app is. So anyway, I went on the Nextdoor app to find an owner for the dog, and then ultimately I ended up. I don't even know if I know how to get rid of it. But I'll just the things that these people complain about. Everybody that passes them in traffic going 5 miles an hour more than the speed limit, they'll literally take out their phone and shoot their license plate like that's safe driving. They're just a ridiculous band of complainy little just blech. And so I can't wait for them tonight to lose their mind and whine and complain to you how unfair and rude you are because you're not doing things how they would do them, which is kind of the definition of selfishness. So there's that. I'm rooting for you guys. Continue with the shelling deep into the night as far as I'm concerned. I'm good with it. I haven't always been in that. I got to be honest, though. I haven't always been in that, category, so to speak. Haven't always. I just saw this, and now my computer is not cooperating with me. It's a Yahoo's power rankings. I got the Jaguars at number 22. I don't think 22 is bad for a 4-13 team. 22 is just, you're right you're out of that bottom dwelling, mud sucking bottom 5 or 6 teams. And you're not up into the competing for a wild card. You're not up that high, but you're not buried. I think you're accurately placed as a team that could go between 7 and 11 wins. 6 and 11 wins, maybe. So for what it's worth, there's Yahoo has the Jaguars at 22. Let me give you their neighbors. The Dolphins are 23, and the Falcons are 21. I'm looking at our division. This is not a terrible thing. The Titans are 32, and the Colts are 24. So it's one thing that could make a return to health a lot quicker and more efficient is playing in this weak division that we're in. And that can change real quick. Get the right quarterback. The Titans hope they do with Cam Ward. All right, I'll scream at the clouds here for a second, even if it's not necessary, because I don't particularly take part in this video game extravaganza, but I'm guessing as I asked this to my trusty cohort this morning, Pockets, Dylan Denmark.
Yeah.
You play Madden?
I have not played Madden in a long time.
But you have played Madden before?
Yes.
My generation missed Madden. I barely missed Madden.
Okay.
You know, once I was already a young adult. Now, if I'd been playing Madden up through my kid and teenage and college years, I'd probably still be playing Madden. I love video games. This isn't an anti-video game commentary, but they're going way too far with these video games. I thought the idea of a video game was to escape and play a video game, not to watch some simulated reality. Did you notice some of the adjustments they made to Madden this year?
No, I have not. I haven't paid attention to Madden.
Like, here's how I want to play a video game. I want to turn the game on. I want to play the first play within 10 seconds.
Oh, that ain't happening.
As soon as the play ends, I want to hit the button and go to the second play. That's how video games work growing up. You played them. You start them, you play them. Now I got to draft. I got to do this. I got to do that. But we're even going even further. Now Madden is going to highlight new skill trees that players can unlock and upgrade through the season. That's fine. A more detailed game planning options. Additionally, franchise mode will now include a wear and tear features that gives athletes health conditions to be managed. I'm playing a video game. I don't need my best player to suddenly be questionable with a knee injury.
Oh, it's like that in NCAA football where if you give the ball to a running back, like, say, 6 straight times, he'll get tired and he's now more prone to fumble.
Stop it. That's not why we play video games, but it gets worse. The new Madden is also going to have new aspects to how players watch the game. They're going to have broadcast features. You're going to have games on Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. I got to listen to Scott Hansen come on and do fake red zone reports.
Oh, my goodness.
At halftime of the fake game that I'm playing on Madden, I've got to devote the 4 minutes for Scott Hansen to take me around the league.
Surely there's a feature where you can hold X and you can skip.
With the other fake games that are going on. I mean, call me simple. But here's how I like to play my video games. Put the dollar in the machine and hit the button.
Yeah, those days are long gone with the internet now.
This is brutal, bro.
Especially with Madden, you can update rosters, and that takes like 5 minutes sometimes, depending on how your Wi-Fi is. And
I mean, I got to sit down and watch the pregame before I go. What else? You got to spend 10 minutes in the locker room and listen to the locker room speech. I don't want my video game to be like I'm watching the game on Sunday.
Which is funny because I know this is how it is in NCAA football because that game came out for the first time last year in 10 years. They skipped the coin toss. Usually, you start the game and then, it's heads or tails. Now they've gotten rid of it. I don't know how it is in Madden, but NCAA, they don't show the coin toss. They show, the players run out of the tunnel, and then you go straight to kickoff.
Listen, I gave up on Madden. My kids played Madden for a while. I'm not sure they even play that much anymore. But I gave up on it when it came just to, again, if you grew up on this simple video game era, it's not worth the hassle of figuring it out. And when the video games went to, you literally have 8 or 10 buttons that you got to maneuver and navigate during the course of your game, whether it's a shooter game or a sports game. But no. I'm a simple person. I need to throw the ball to him. I don't need to pull the joystick left, hit the A button while I hit the lower right trigger one.
And now the football games are so realistic. You have to actually know football. Like, you have to know what play to run against a cover 2, against a cover 3.
It's a
like
little
20 years ago, you could just get Mike Vick and just run around.
That's the fun of it.
And yeah, it didn't matter because you weren't going to tackle him. Or NFL blitz, it didn't matter. Yeah, not so much anymore.
All right, here it's time now to introduce the beginning of the nasty. I've left the nastier, queries for advice with a Dylan. But we are going to offer up Deer Drill. It's the Friday Spectacular. You got questions and issues out there, and we are bastions of success. As an example for you, we're going to tell you the right things to do, the right way to handle things. The first one comes from a local golf course. Deer Drill. My cousin came down to visit. He likes to golf, so we went to play around yesterday. He didn't have his clubs. It was only a twosome. We finished in 3.5 hours. He's a single handicap. I'm a 25. So even though we were using one bag of clubs, we weren't using the same club. The group behind us, another twosome,
even though they maybe waited a minute or two once on the fourth hole where they hit into us, which was a par 5 where we waited on an older gentleman in front of us. They called the clubhouse, who came out when they said something. I told them that they couldn't play ahead when asked because of how they hit into us, and it became a tense situation. So my question is, as a golfer yourself, were we in the wrong for not letting them play through because of their attitude? I'm not sure I'm getting all of the details that I need here, Dylan.
Yeah, we need pace of play.
You played in 3.5 hours. That's a good pace, even for a twosome. 3.5 hours is a pretty good pace. Now I know, we played at 2.5 hours. Yeah, you do. You're both 6s. Good, congratulations, good for you. I think playing in 3.5 hours, you're not slowing him up too much. It's unacceptable to hit into guys because you're ticked off. Unacceptable. If these guys are slowing you up so bad and you can't follow the rules of etiquette, even if you don't like them, and wait your turn, drive around them and go somewhere else. The playing 2 out of 1 bag, I don't have a problem with it at all.
I don't care about that.
If golf courses say something, that's fine. They have no standing over you for that. So I'd say overall, it's your prerogative whether or not you want to let them play through. And if you decided not to because they hit into you and were rude about it, then that's your prerogative. Now, here's the thing with golf in these situations. I'll be totally honest. If I'd have gotten a Dear Drill letter from the other side of this, I may have ruled against you hearing how they described it. But here, I see no harm, no foul. You want to play 2 guys out of 1 bag, I don't have a problem with that. Things happen. I'd rather that than nobody play golf. And I'm not a big fan of being hit into just because you feel like you're being held up too much. I also am not a big fan of being held up, don't get me wrong. One of those is annoying you. The other is firing a missile.
Yeah, there's a difference.
There's a big difference. So, yeah, if you ever hit a ball into me, your ball's fixing to get hit into the woods. And then you're going to come up, and it's going to be a big to-do. So, yeah, don't hit into people. Weak sauce. And if you are so good and in such a hurry that you got to hit into someone, buy your own golf course there, tough guy.
No.
Apparently, you're a pro. So, there's that. All right, now... what else is our First Coast audience dealing with there, Dylan?
Oh, we need a married man for this one.
Oh, well. So one you have.
Yes. After years of disappointment, I finally found the man of my dreams.
Okay.
How do I tell him he isn't doing certain things right in the bedroom without it being uncomfortable? I've mentioned it before, but it didn't stick. This is the only problem with our relationship. I don't want to hurt his feelings or make either one of us uncomfortable, but he's just not getting the job done. Jeff, what do you say?
So basically, they have it's not that they're inactive, it's just that he's not pushing the right buttons, so to speak.
Apparently.
Man, if you got a guy who doesn't have enough self-security, if you got a guy who doesn't have enough self-confidence that you can't give him a little tip on how to better play that piano, then you don't have the right guy. This seems silly to me. Honey, I need a little help here. Try this.
Talk it out.
You should be comfortable enough with each other.
Talk about what you like and what you don't like.
That's for real. And if you're a guy and your lady is communicating with you and you're being a bizzle about it, taking offense, and your ego's hurt, shut up. Take the ball and run. Oh, really? Sure. You got it. Oh, no way. I got a couple of things. So there you go. That's where I'd go with that. We have any more? That's
about all I got.
Good. Yeah. I mean, we got to end it on.
Yeah, we got to get some culture, man.
My guy is just salivating in there.
I mean, there was some breaking news that happened after the show yesterday.
Oh man, I hesitate to discover what that is, but we shall see. Close up the mailbag. That's Dear Drill. Novak Djokovic seeded 6th at Wimbledon. Wow, 6th for a guy who's won more majors than anyone. Is up 4-3 in his second round match. The story at Wimbledon has been the seeds unplanted. It's been a rough go for a bunch of top 10 seeds so far, and we're not even through round 2 for just about everyone that is there. But we'll come back. We'll see what's trending and more. It's a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday on The Drill.
The Drill at the DivorceMenOnly.com studios. Patriots.
My country 'tis of thee.
Freedom.
Sweet land of liberty.
Fireworks.
Of the I sing.
Happy birthday, America.
Of the I sing.
from 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more, or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Call 904-500-COOL. Ideal Conditions.
Ideal Conditions Heating and Air Conditioning is your go-to for all AC repairs and replacements. Just gas your AC. For exceptional service, call 904-500-COOL or visit idealconditionsjacks.com to schedule your estimate today.
Call 904-500-COOL.
Honk if you see us. Call for service.
Ideal Conditions.
Idealconditionsjacks.com.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
I'm Max Fink. Join me for the Gator Report on 1010XL as I break down the latest storylines in Gator Nation.
Put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators! Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
This summer, you can beat the heat at Best Bet, your premier poker destination. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a first-time card player, you'll find a cool retreat from the summer heat with thrilling games, big payouts, and refreshing drinks. Join us for an unforgettable experience. Cool off and cash in at Best Bet. The stakes are high, the cards are hot, and your chance for fun is guaranteed. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
This 4th of July, Navy Mutual would like to salute Joe DiMaggio as our hero in sports. Nicknamed the Yankee Clipper, you know Joe for his record 56-game hitting streak that may never be touched. But he was also a sergeant during World War II.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll.
Come by your local's Dailies Dash today to get your delicious Duval sub. Dailies is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Storms are part of every season. Make sure you're protected. Call American Electrical to make sure you have the best in surge protection. Don't lose your home electronics to a lightning strike. Call 737-7770 for American Electrical.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
Hey, what up, girl?
Grab my glasses, I'm out the door.
Nothing screams 9 o'clock nasty like the Diddy intro.
Did you feel like P. Diddy this morning?
I have a Shazam Spotlight before we get in today's trending segment. 9:21 on a Custom Tree Surgeons Thursday. Hope you got a great weekend set up with some time off. Let's keep it safe and, sober, dare I say. The speed traps are out and about. They're all over the area this morning. I've had them come in from Airport Road to the Dames Point Bridge to the south side. So if you're out and about today, be mindful. Keep those speeds down and keep that cash in your pocket. Most importantly, keep that people safe, right? Outside of that, that's the reason that they're out there trying to keep you corralled. I have today's Shazam Spotlight brought to you by ShazamAuto.com and the Murray Ford Superstores. Stark, Kingsland. Ronald Acuna Jr. made his season debut in the Braves' 50th game. He will, as announced yesterday, start the All-Star game. The only other player in Major League Baseball history to start the All-Star game despite not making his season debut until his team's 50th game or later was Joe DiMaggio in 1949. And this isn't just, they're the home team, give Ronald Acuna Jr. some love. I mean, he has come in and he's like a house of fire. He's been very good already in his short stint. Let me just give you where are we at now on Acuna in total time spent. It's remarkable. They've only played, 85 games, and he missed 50, and he's still an all-star starter.
Didn't he come back in first week of June?
Yeah, I'm going to give you right now exactly what he's done. Ronald Acuna, he's only played 36 games. Only had 127 at-bats, but he's already got 9 home runs. He's already got a WAR of 2. He's already got the second highest WAR on the Braves behind Matt Olson. And he was playing, and you accumulate that game to game to game. He's his OPS is over 1,000. Batting 346. Yeah, he's been terrific. He's the only guy with any heart on the whole dadgum team, it feels like. But that's today's Shazam Spotlight, brought to you by ShazamAuto.com, the Murray Ford Superstores. Stark and Kingsland. Take that short drive, beat these big city prices, and you are going to love your customer experience. The most down-to-earth, easy-to-deal with people. Shoot you with it straight, not trying to upsell you or send something they want gone. That's going to send you something you want. That's how we're going to finish your car shopping day at the Murray Ford Superstores. Stark and Kingsland. All right. My boy's been waiting in there.
But dying.
Champing at the bit. See what we got. It's time to trend, which has become, thanks to these two derelicts I work with, the, quote, 9 o'clock nasty, which somehow, for some way, gets even 9 o'clock nastier on Fridays. Make it make sense. But he is your host. Direct your text to him.
Number 5.
All right, Jeff, we're going to start number 5. We're going to start easy. Are you a frequent user of Airbnb? Whenever you go out on vacation.
I don't know what frequent means, but I think we do that probably at least half the time.
Okay, well, if you want to go in Chicago, you want to get an Airbnb, you can now go to Michael Jordan's former mansion. It only costs about $110,000, and you have to stay at least 7 nighs. It's a 7-bedroom, 17 and a half baths.
What? How much a night?
It's I think it's $110,000 for the week.
For the week. And what did you say? How many does it fit?
It's got 7 bedrooms.
Okay, 7 bedrooms. So you could theoretically do 7 couples, maybe. I'm trying to figure out how to price this into. So 7 divided by 110 grand.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, you're like 15 grand a couple to stay in Michael Jordan's house?
What kind of salary would you need to take for that to be like equivalent?
I guess the problem is this. If you have the kind of salary that you would do that, you have the kind of salary, you live in a house that you don't need to go do that. You feel me? Mm-hmm. If you make enough money to go stay in Michael Jordan's house, unless you're some newbie 28-year-old tech millionaire, you've got no interest in going and staying in someone else's house. You got your own stuff. That would be my guess. So there is no salary for me. I would do it only if it were just free or just part of a normal Airbnb search.
Or you just want to look at it.
I guess.
Take a tour and dip.
I
don't need to stay in a house that's 7,000 square feet.
Yeah, I go to if I want to go tour somebody's house, I'll go to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Number 4.
Oh, let's see. Jake Paul's called out Anthony Joshua, Tank Davis, and a lot of other main heavyweights. I mean, this dude's just going to just run his mouth and continue to... Jake Paul.
Oh, okay.
He's going to continue to call out all these boxers until... I don't know if he's ever going to do it, man.
Has he called out like Muhammad Ali and George Foreman yet? Two guys that have passed away? Listen, Paul has done it the smart way. He's made a ton of money, and he's just gradually upped the competition level to the point that he gets some, he's starting to get some credit, probably more than he deserves. He's still beating old, slow, got nothing left fighters. It's just a fact. And the one fighter that he fought, who's not even all that great, beat him. But he has been getting... I'm going by what the associations and the experts are saying. I find it to be at least enough of a curiosity that I'll watch. I got to be honest, 3 of the last 5 boxing matches I've watched have been Jake Paul fights. Because it's something
he fought
different.
Saturday. I didn't watch because UFC had a good card.
They had a good one, yeah. The one kid, the undefeated kid. No, I watched. I have my current box system. I keeps the pay-per-view stuff on file for a week, so I could watch it. I didn't stay up late and watch it, but I did get up and watch it the next morning. It was incredibly boring.
So basically like all his other fights, pretty much.
Incredibly boring. Incredibly boring. By the way, people are saying on the text line, who wants to go to vacation on Chicago, even if it is Jordan's house? Nah, I push back on that. Chicago is a real fun place to take a trip.
Yeah, you got to hit the spots. You can't, you can't be going to the hood.
I'm going to tell you this. It flies in the face of us sports fans and, the wife drags me here. I don't want to go to the museum. I'll tell you something in Chicago to do. It wouldn't seem like it'd be my bag. I loved it. Do that riverboat architecture tour.
Yeah, and I'll go to Wrigley while I'm up there too.
Yeah, have you been to Chicago?
I have not.
Yeah, do Wrigley, but I'm telling you, you do the river tour. They take you. What you don't realize how much of Chicago is the water's right up to the buildings. Like you're in, over in Venice or something. And then they take you to all these different parts and tell you the history. It was really cool. I enjoyed it.
Number 3.
Jeff, do you know who the Liver King is?
I do. The Liver King is a guy like many social media influencers who completely lied and faked his way.
Okay, so you're aware.
Yeah, he faked that all he ate was this, that, or the other, and in fact, he was on steroids the whole time.
And all that.
He's in a beef with Joe Rogan, right? He keeps threatening to kill him.
So, yeah, he isn't letting a little restraining order stop him from trying to get a Joe Rogan. He's trying to get on his podcast.
Yeah.
And Rogan's talked about this before. He's seen him like walking into venues at hotels, and Rogan's trying to stay away from him. He's seen him at UFC events. Well, now there's a restraining order. You must stay at least 200 yards away from Rogan and his family members after allegedly making terrorist threats against him.
Yeah, and I've seen what he's saying. The Liver King is completely unhinged, which probably because he probably did steroids all those years and now he's off of them. Maybe. I don't know, but he's a complete whack job. You people are whack jobs, man. If you followed the Liver King ever, you need a better role model in your life. Go to church Sunday if you're bowing at the altar of the Liver King and his fake social media profile where they kill deer and eat it right there raw. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, the body he has is obviously built by steroids. It has been forever. He lied about it the whole time, and Rogan has said from the get-go, bro, before it ever became a thing, that dude's not natural. If you're a bodybuilder and have done steroids, you know if a guy's on steroids more than Dylan or I would know. Fair?
100%.
Yeah, and so Rogan rightfully announced. And by the way, all things being equal, if you put Rogan and Liver King in the squared circle, I think Rogan beat his A.
Yeah, Rogan's probably not as strong, but he knows jiu-jitsu and all of that.
Right,
man.
and they're probably a similar age. Rogan maybe a little bit older. What's Rogan, 50 yet? Close?
Probably mid-50s at, the latest.
I remember Rogan, and he's grown on me. I remember him from Fear Factor way back when. He was a young guy then.
Number 2.
All right, Jeff, we have the return of one of the great athletes tomorrow in the hot dog eating contest, Joey Chestnut.
No,
10 minutes, Over under, if you had to bet, 71 and a half hot dogs.
Gosh, I don't know what the standards are. What's his record? Like, I don't know what his record
I think they changed the time limit.
Used to be 12,
it used to be
maybe?
12, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Think about what he just said. That's eating 7 hot dogs a minute, bun and all. Could you eat 7 hot dogs today if I challenged you?
I could.
You could.
I would eat
I could eat a cup. I could probably if I had to do the 7, I could. I like hot dogs.
Yeah, I could eat 3 for lunch if I'm really hungry.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
that's
I
fair.
wouldn't be feeling good.
Now, how do you do your hot dog?
Just mustard.
Just a hot dog, bread, dog, mustard.
Yeah, bread, dog, mustard. If I can, I might put a little bit of onions, a little bit of coleslaw.
Okay.
But mustard is a must-have.
But you can. I'm saying build your perfect hot dog. You putting slaw and onions, or you're just going mustard?
Yeah, mustard, coleslaw, onions.
Okay. My perfect hot dog would be bun, dog, yellow mustard, and finely diced onions.
Okay.
I need them small. I don't want big, chunky onions. I like to dice them up like, on a Crystal Burger or McDonald's or hamburger or something.
Yeah.
I need them diced like
Chestnut's hot dog eating record is 76 hot dogs.
That's 12 minutes. I'm going to go under.
That was in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, that was in 10. Okay.
He also holds a record of 83 hot dogs eaten in a separate competition against Kobayashi.
I'm going to say over. He always seems to overshoot rather than undershoot. And because he was forced to miss last year, he'll probably come back with some sort of attitude.
Yeah.
An attitude.
Number
and an
one.
appetite means a lot of dogs going down.
All right, Jeff, it went down yesterday at the courthouse.
What happened?
P. Diddy.
Oh, did
5 counts.
He got off with nothing, didn't he? Pretty much?
He didn't get a whole lot. The 3 main ones, he was not guilty. He was guilty on 2 counts of trafficking prostitutes.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be max jail time of about 10 years. Now, outside the courthouse, there were a lot of people that gathered together and they were celebrating in baby oil.
I mean, what's wrong with
why? Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I watched the country on like one of the hottest days of the year, a day that you can hang out with your pops and celebrate Father's Day. I watched thousands stand in the hot sun and scream at the man. So I don't know what to tell you. People find their wherewithal and their fulfillment in their day in different ways.
Yeah,
I'll never find mine in those ways.
No.
That just sounds counterproductive.
So his sentence is in a couple of months, and we'll figure out exactly what his jail time is. But I'm gonna give him some advice now when he goes to jail. There's this new thing, Jeff. It's a new word in jail. Instead of fighting, there's this thing. It's called a Glock Dookie.
A Glock Dookie.
A Glock Dookie.
Damn, what are you preparing to do some time?
My TikTok algorithm.
Do I need to ask what a Glock Dookie is?
A Glock Dookie is any kind of body fluid, and you put it in like a toothpaste tube or a bottle of water, and instead of fighting somebody, you got beef with somebody, you open that lid and whop. You throw somebody. That's nasty, man.
It is.
And you let it build up for 2 weeks. For sometimes I've heard sources tell me.
Gotta let it ferment a little bit.
Yeah, and then you throw it on somebody.
Commit.
Yeah, and then if you want to get a big one, you get like a gallon of milk or a half gallon of milk. That's a bomb dookie.
Wow. Stay out of prison life, gang.
So would you rather?
I'm probably I won't go to prison.
Okay.
I doubt. I've made it through all my trials and travails and the risky behaviors.
So,
I'm good, I think.
So here's the question of the day. Would you rather get hit by a Glock Dookie or would you rather get shot? Like if you had to get shot like in the foot? Because I don't want no Glock Dookie.
Where's the Glock Dookie hitting me?
All over. Like if I'm like from here to you,
I would rather,
because that poop gonna smell and
that's
spit
okay.
and bad milk.
I'll take the Glock Dookie. Yeah. I'm not getting shot. If the Glock Dookie was more perilous than getting shot, then wars would be fought with Glock Dookies and not guns.
This is true.
So, I would rather take the Glock Dookie and the momentary disgust of it all than to be shot in the foot and lug that hole around for the next however many years. Neither are good options, and shame on you on the 3rd of July for just giving me those 2.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's trending.
That's it. That's the top 5 nastiest things my man could come up with. He has been somewhat distracted all morning trying to fortify this list. So.
I came up with this list last night. I was that excited.
Oh, my gosh. That's what we do. It's what we built here on the drill. All right. We'll come back. We'll introduce you to Jaguars today. Get you ready for the long weekend. One comment we didn't really talk about a lot in the NBA, and that's the Knicks have found their coach. This is for this. That and more next.
The Drill. From the DivorceMenOnly.com studios, our colors are teal and black.
That is, Jags on 3, baby. 1, 2, 3, Jags.
No one covers the Jaguars like 1010XL, home of the Jaguars.
Here's Linda Beaver.
The dog days of summer are here, and so are the hottest deals of the year. Whether you're hauling down the street, cruising on the beach, or just escaping the heat, we have the ride you're looking for and the wow you experience you deserve. Save big on select models with sizzling summer savings, low financing, and limited time bonus cash on all trades. So don't sweat it. Come beat the heat at Beaver Automotive, where the summer deals will wow you.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lot bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Mack and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars, to trucks, to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Let PGA pros straighten your morning drive with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser on Brunch with the Tour, Tuesday morning at 8:30 on 1010XL. Teed up by Apex Roofing and Contracting and Clearwater Irrigation. Brunch provided by Chick-fil-A.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. You're on-road, you're off-road, now you're on the water. Greg, tell everybody what Coach and Honda is offering in the form of boats.
We've got the Honda boat, which is a great runabout fisherman. We've got the Coach boats. They're fantastic for getting out with a family. Nice lay-down beds, all with that legendary Honda motor on them.
Check them all out. They're waiting for you. You can see how you can be on the water with Honda or with Coach pontoon boats. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y, summer camps every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Prize, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. Johns County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it," and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Hi, I'm John Haney from Clearwater Gutters and Drainage. After heavy rains, the problems are obvious. Mulch blown out of your beds, water standing around your foundation, and that fancy new crater back behind your bushes. Let Clearwater Seamless Gutters help you solve the problem spots.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters.
And drainage, too. Find out more at clearwaterjacks.com.
Registration is now open for the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament. Over $250,000 in cash and prizes available, with payouts up to 20 places. Of course, there's great prizes for lady anglers, and bring along your junior anglers as well. Register today at kingfishtournament.com. Even if you're not on the water, spectators will enjoy fun exhibits, food, kids' activities, and a fireworks display at the Circle K Greater Jacksonville Kingfish Tournament.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is thrilled to announce you can get all of their flavors and original vodka at PJ Liquors in St. Augustine. PJ Liquors, since 1999, has been serving up summertime fun. Now enjoy Brackish Vodka, the #1 local vodka in North Florida. Brackish Vodka is the first clean craft vodka, and you can find their 9 flavors at PJ Liquors. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 87.
Hold the hand, Chico. Hey, hold on. 2 cars come. You got 2 cars coming 2 different ways. Bag up, Terry.
They put the bottle rocket down next to the wheelchair.
Oh, Lord, Jesus.
Terry's in trouble.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus. What you doing, Terry? Terry, what you doing?
Man, just taking it.
Get him out of there. Somebody go in and get my man out of there. Poor Terry.
And luckily it went a long firework, or he would have had life alert.
Terry's just sitting there, man. And Terry's sitting there. He's got his glasses on. His wheelchair suddenly it won't work. He hits the button, it won't move anywhere. And so what they had done is they wanted to let Terry kind of light the bottle rocket, be a part of the festivities. So they're going to light it, and then Terry, you got to back up and get out of there, man. So they ended up lighting the bottle rocket, and it was just sat right there between his feet. He wasn't able to move, and it got a little distressing. Look. Many of you were in support of me getting on the Karens and their firework complaining, but I will say this. Like I said, go get them tomorrow night, guys. You want to celebrate America and shoot your fireworks from 6 p.m. till 6 in the morning on 4th of July night. Knock yourself out. I'm cool with it. Now, there is this. This part is a little less Karen and a little more understandable. Now, I'm not saying it's okay just to go ape wild tonight and again on Saturday night, because that's what's happened. I think that leads to maybe some of the complaints more than just, sucking it up and letting people have their explosive fun on the 4th. It's not just that. It's that, there were people shooting off fireworks last night, and they'll do it tonight, and then they'll do it on the 4th.
Especially
they'll do it on Saturday.
3-day weekend, too.
And then they'll also do, and by the way, and now they'll do it on Memorial Day, and they'll do it on New Year's Day. And that probably gets on. Now, again, you can shoot them tonight, tomorrow, the next night. I don't care.
You want to sleep right through it?
But I don't have kids, and I don't have a dog either.
Okay.
The dogs are the ones.
Yeah, the dogs, they freak out over that.
Yeah, and there's a few that don't, but most do. My cat never really bothered, Cats are smart. They'll just go get under a bed, and I'll stay here until everything's done. We're cool. I'm not going to go crazy. But the barking, man. I hated the barking of that bastard dog Bentley more than I hated the fireworks themselves. That little thing, man, don't miss him a bit.
Sometimes those dogs will just bark.
I didn't send him to an early demise. That dog got loved a lot more than he actually was for a good solid 10, 12, 13 years. So I'm not going to apologize for being glad he's gone. We lost the good dog, man, the big dog, Murphy. Dang it. Life's not fair, gang. Life's not fair. All right. So, yeah, I do feel for you there, but I don't It doesn't bother me necessarily, but that's a fairer point, I think. When you're talking about the fireworks and the stress that it can create, it's added a little bit more. And like you said, a 3-day weekend, buddy, it's bombs away. Again, the biggest war zones right now in American politics are American cul-de-sacs. That's where that's where the artillery will be launched tomorrow. So let me get this straight. The Knicks fired the coach who took them farther than they had been in 20 years. They, the assumption, at least for me, when they did that was, the Knicks must have something up their sleeve. They're going to get this guy, or Jason Kidd's going to come, or Jay Wright is going to take the job. Or there were all these high-profile names at the Knicks in the crown jewel of basketball gymnasiums, Madison Square Garden. They were going to add that piece at coach, and it would take them over the top. And again, never mind that Tom Thibodeau did a very good job with them. Had a lot of success with them. Well, that any plan you thought they have quickly went out the window when we've just been sitting here in a holding pattern for now like a month since they fired Tom Thibodeau very unceremoniously. Yesterday, they apparently have landed on Mike Brown. Can I yawn any wider than the hiring of Mike Brown? Now, maybe this is the job that Brown needs. He has been coach of the year for 2 different franchises. That's not easy to do, especially the one with the Sacramento Kings. Brown has been unceremoniously dumped twice from teams that he was doing a good job with. That's strange to me. He was with LeBron the first time around in Cleveland, right? And then he went to the Lakers, had a real good year with Kobe and Pau Gasol, won like 60 games, and he lasted like 10 games the next year. It was weird. And then he took the Kings. Remember how good the Kings were 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were in position, right? Fox and Sabonis. This was going to be a good team for years to come. They'd shoot that laser to the moon after they won. He was coach of the year again there. I think he was coach of the year in Cleveland when he won 60, and he was coach of the year in I didn't win 60, I don't think, with the Lakers. I was thinking of Cleveland. He won a bunch of games and was coach of the year with Sacramento. And then Sacramento, after last year's success, they got off to a slow start this year, and they canned him like 10, 12 games into this season. But apparently the Knicks are sold. They requested permission to speak with 5 NBA head coaches and were denied. Then interviewed several available coaches and went through multi-round stages with the candidates. And ultimately they land on Mike Brown. Again, that wouldn't juice me that much. But, you know, sometimes it's just falling in the right spot and landing in that same kind of groove. You know, Pat Dooley joined us earlier today. He said something real interesting about Todd Golden. He told a little anecdote that I hadn't heard, and that was that in his interview, online by the way, with Scott Strickland for the Florida basketball job, he just flat out said, "Man, here's what you're going to get with me. You're going to get a guy who listens to their music, and they're being that generation." You know, and Todd Golden, and at the same time, they're going to get a disciplined taskmaster, and Golden proved to be that real quick. And look, there are no similarities between Golden and Mike Brown. I'm just saying sometimes if you can find that right mix of respect and strategy, it seems like basketball, as much as any sport, can translate quickly. I mean, look no further than Florida, where Todd Golden came in, made some changes, developed his style, his strategies, and, you know, got a natty within 3 years. All right, Dylan, playing them in.
Now, the 2-minute drill on 1010XL.
We're going to hand off to Tony and Mike and Jaguars today. Happy holidays, Tony. Happy 4th. What you guys got coming up?
Happy 4th. We'll be talking a little bit about that, I'm sure, on the program this morning. Yesterday, we had those 4 offensive players, if you could add one, right, to this roster for this year. Who did win? Baselli. Yeah, Baselli wound up running away with it, which makes sense.
It does.
With where the team's at. You know, with the other guys that we had.
It might make sense no matter what the team looks like. In fairness, he is the one Hall of Famer. But on this team especially, with a crowded running back room with 2 good receivers, that really hurts the cases, I think, for for Jimmy and Fred.
You know, it'd be interesting with any of those guys, as we discussed, you know, going through that yesterday. And we'll do it today. We're flipping it to the defensive side.
Okay.
Right? And some of the legends that the Jags have had at the levels, right? At 4 different positions. Your options on defense in the poll today. For one season, you can have them. We gave you multiple guys at a couple spots because we couldn't differentiate right between them, basically. But defensive tackle, so Henderson or Stroud. If you want to add one of those guys, edge, add Calais or Tony Brackens.
Which one of those is the right call? They feel like such similar players to me, Big John and Marcus Stroud.
We looked at the stats yesterday. They are separated by half a sack and 3 tackles for loss in their career.
So it's
right.
It's accurate, that recollection.
Stroud made 3 Pro Bowls here. Like, that would be if there was something that was going to separate it, but there's really no separation.
Did Henderson ever make a Pro Bowl? Did he make one at all?
I think he made 1.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have the option between Calais and Brackens at the edge spot.
Yeah, I mean, for 1 year, as good as Tony Brackens was, you got to go Calais. He had a much more dominant year.
And then at safety, Donovan Darius, or at corner, Rasheem Mathis.
Okay.
For 1 year.
Yeah, I love the absence of a certain player there at that position. That's beautiful. I like that because one of the guy that you have on there is the much better Jaguar.
Much better Jaguar.
The much better Jaguar. He won't be the Hall of Famer and the self-proclaimed, key to the world that the other is, but Rasheem, a good dude. Still see him around town every now and then. All right, well, Jaguars today's coming up next. You guys have a great 4th of July. That goes for everyone out there as well. It's been a custom Tree Searches Thursday, and we will be back at you on Monday.